your seatbelt. It's going to be a bumpy ride.
Chrissie is hilarious.
Chrissie, have you ever heard of the comedian Basha K. Ali?
No, that sounds like something you yell at before you blow up a plane.
30 seconds remaining.
But you know what good thing to say? I doubt it will stand up to something. I haven't been disrespectful to you at all.
I was very confused by the title, Everything Everywhere All at Once, because that's also what we call it when Ash takes off his shirt. I shouldn't be up here. I should be in school on the other side of the ocean.
What's up, boys and girls? Welcome to another episode of the Chrissie Mayr podcast. We are on iTunes, YouTube, Spotify, and SoundCloud. So if you're listening on iTunes right now, please hook a sister up with a 5-star review, or is it 4 stars? I forget how many stars is the most amount of stars, but that's the amount of stars you should do. I got a bunch of stand-up gigs coming up. I'm so excited to be back on the road making lols for people this Thursday. Gosh, tomorrow I'll be headlining in Bridgeport, Connecticut at the Stress Factory Comedy Club. Then, next week, the end of the month, September 30th and October 1st, I'll be in New Orleans at the Comedy House New Orleans. 4 shows. Check it out. If you like drinking in the street, if you need to get away for a weekend, just come. Check out these shows. Come hang. Come drink. Then we got the Comedians of the Compound at the Orlando Improv Thursday, October 27th. This is the same weekend as the Geeks and Gamers Friday Night Tights meetup. So if you're in town for that, just come to this show too. It's going to be great. It'll be me, Gino Bisconti, Anthony Cumia, Alex Stein, Lila Hart. All your faves will be there. Then we got a Compound Media Censored TV collab show live in New York City on Thursday, November 10th. Venue is to be announced because people like to cancel us. So just stay tuned and we'll get you that New York City venue probably the day of the show. Then I'm back in Jersey headlining in New Brunswick at the Stress Factory Comedy Club Thursday, November 17th. Then I'm going back to California early next year. Wow, 2023 looks weird. But I'll be in San Diego Friday, February 24th and Saturday, February 25th at the Mic Drop Comedy Club in San Diego. Get your tickets now at ChrissieMayr.com. People have a lot of fun at my shows. I know I get a lot of hate. Twitter me and interview me is very different than stage me. These are all, you need to experience each one before you can make your full judgment. Speaking of judgments, I have no segue here, but I want to do a quick shout out to our sponsor for this episode, and that is, it's Cushy Dreams. Yes, I love this music. Go to cushydreams.com. These guys offer so many different types of CBD products. I love the packaging. Everything is professional and chic and smells fantastic. I personally really like the CBD pre-rolls. They come in this lovely little 5-pack. You can just slip it into your purse like a classy broad. Or if you don't want to commit to a whole 5-pack, they have single ones that just come in a little tube. It looks like a ship in a bottle, but really, it's a CBD joint that's going to calm you down. Maybe help with your sleep. Maybe relax your muscles. Maybe get you to forget about your dumb ex. I don't know what you want to use this for. There's many purposes. And they've got these new Delta 9 THC gummies. What the hell is even that? I don't know, but it's going to relax you. They come in 4 different flavors like watermelon, which is what I have right here. Wow, they smell really good. Should I eat one and see how the show goes? No, I'll do that next time. But I really like the gummies, and they're delicious, and they help me to relax. Just smoke one and take a bath. Boom. All your stress is gone. Go to cushydreams.com right now. And at the checkout, use promo code CMP to get 20% off your order. First, second, third order. Doesn't matter how many orders you do. That code is going to work every time. Yeah. Smoke your CBD. Full flower, full spectrum, full flavor. Ooh. Available in different blends like create, dream, energy, hustle, peace, relax, and of course, these sweet new Delta 9 gummies. Check them out. cushydreams.com. Get yourself relaxed. Yeah. Also, I want to give a shout out to my t-shirt provider because I had a spicy t-shirt design. It was called Rootin' for Putin. And guess what? It got kicked off of TeePublic for being too spicy. So I said, fuck it. I'm taking all my shirts off. I'm going to Flagrant Triggers. Go to flagranttriggers.com. You can get the very controversial Rootin' for Putin shirt plus the Stuttering John shirt, Johnny Dabbler, keep dabbling. The Simcast shirt, the classic Mayor shirt. If you miss the Obama era, you can get the Mayor shirt. We got Make America Great Again and the Smayer shirt for the 4 of you that have heard of the band Slayer. Go to flagranttriggers.com. $27 includes shipping. These shirts are super soft. You can do just about anything while wearing one of these shirts. And yeah, check it out. Love those guys. T-shirts, man. They're the future. You know who else is the future? My next guest. We talked for 35 seconds before we went live, and I was like, that's it. I already know I like this broad. And I know that you will too. And I know she told me not to hype her up, but I'm going to hype her up because she has some legit credits here. She is an Emmy-nominated news anchor. She is a reporter. She is hot. She, I think, also dabbles in comedy. We might get to that if there's time. But welcome to the show, Balance. Hello.
Thank you so much for having me. I've been a fan of yours for a while. You might not know this.
No, stop. I didn't know.
So I first saw you on. Okay. What brought me back to you is when I saw you on Greg Gutfeld.
Ooh, that was fun.
That looked like a lot of fun. But originally, I love stand-up and I love roasts.
Oh my God.
It was your roasts that killed it. And I was like, I don't know who this girl is, but she's got an awesome Long Island accent. And I forget the one, I was rewatching it today. It was against a girl who was from Oswego, New York. She was really, really big.
Yeah. That's probably my favorite one. What was her name? Carolyn Castiglia?
Yes.
One of my all-time favorite. I think actually I will give props to my fiance Frank. He helped me write, I think, one of the best jokes of that roast, which was like, "Oh, Carolyn, with that new haircut, you remind me of the Beatles. Which one? Volkswagen."
Yes.
It's like still one of my all-time fucking. She had horrible bangs, and it worked out so perfectly. Oh, and Frank has sent me a link to this roast.
Mm-hmm.
Am I gonna get copyright struck? No, it's my own. It's my own thing. I'm so scared now these days. I don't want to strike myself. Okay, let me pull this up really quick for those, just to pat myself on the back real quick. Roasts are so intense.
Oh yeah.
It's a flash in the pan, then it's done. You'll spend weeks, sometimes months preparing for a roast, and then it takes up so much time, and then you're done, and you often can't use any of these jokes ever again.
Mm-hmm.
But this was the roast.
All right, your next.
Wow, this was back in the heyday of roasting, which I think
this was when I first saw you, and it was my second oldest brother. I'm one of 6, and it was the Volkswagen Beetle joke. So great job, Frank.
Yay!
My brother was like, gotta watch this chick. She roasts this girl, and I was like, okay. And I watched, and I was like, oh wow, she's good.
It also helps when you loathe the person in real life too. Like I've roasted friends, but someone you actually really despise.
Did you really despise this girl?
Yes, she was a mega SJW.
Okay, because I got that vibe, and folks obviously will see it, but you go up there and you're actually really like kind. You're like, I wanted to roast somebody that I know, and that's where I was like, okay, she either knows this girl and hates her. I thought you took it easy on her, but I still thought you won the roast hands down, because you could also see the audience was like, yeah, you lost, but yeah.
Yeah, it's an interesting balance between like I love roasting, but then I'm also a little bit I avoid conflict, which is still it's funny for someone who avoids conflict to do a roast because it's literally all conflict.
Exactly.
But I was like, it's a little bit like it's a different deal to be in person, but I still like really love doing it. Let me just see if I can get to
the stage all the way. to challenge
God.
you.
Do we even know where the joke is?
I had a choice.
It's near the beginning.
between Girl power.
Okay, fine. Clap it up as loud as you can.
Give it
Oh
up
my
for
God.
the redneck racists that know Oswego, New York. All right.
She's already so bawdy and confident out the gate, which I hated because I'm like basically leaning against the wall.
Yeah.
All right, Carolyn, I'm gonna have
Like,
you.
this is the only
call
place that I can stand because
Ladies and gentlemen, clap.
the stage.
You guys don't know. Fun fact: I was originally supposed to roast Christine Meehan, so it's nice that the stand put me with somebody who also looks like they're pregnant.
Ha! Because she couldn't do it because she was like about to give birth.
And she's like, ugh.
She was like, God damn it, you got me. I'm fat.
Yeah.
Let me see.
Just pretended she was.
Oh God, her jokes are so bad. I don't even want to.
Yeah, they were.
Waste your guys' time with it. I want to get.
Yeah, but you could show how to not roast somebody.
No, I'm serious. Carolyn's flipped over more black dick than that fucking truck that hit Tracy Morgan's limo.
Wow.
That was the other one too.
It was a little intense.
I like the ones that are intense though. You know, like I'm sure you've watched the Comedy Central roasts. One of my favorite roasters, I love Jeff Ross and Jimmy Carr because they like really go in, don't give a shit, you know, like just completely roast. Even like Jimmy Carr, I think, you know, everyone was trying to cancel him when he did the whole Pete Davidson 9/11 roast, you know, because his father died.
Tried to cancel him?
Yeah, they tried to cancel him because for those that didn't know, Pete Davidson, his father died in 9/11, and he said something along the lines, I can't remember the exact joke, but it was basically I'm not even going to try to spoil it. You could probably look up exactly what he said, but it was referring to 9/11. Okay. And they said
people joked about that for so long. People call it Pete Davidson Career Day, like it's a known thing that people make fun of about him.
And he was the one that actually stepped up and was like, no, like I laughed. It's funny. Like it happened. What are we going to do? But yeah, that was the only one that I remember that got like kind of a little controversial, but it's a roast.
Roasting is great. It is such a good muscle to work on, and the more you do it, it's like the more fearless you become in like your regular stand up, and you're just like, oh yeah, I could do roasting jokes with my regular set. Like why not? And then you're like you start to like learn how to roast the audience, and you can do it like off the top of your head, and it's just always good.
Yeah, and that's why I honestly I love trolls. Like a lot of people think that I get very upset if I have a troll that comes into my chat. I personally love it because I feel like when you address them, it's like addressing hecklers, you know, like when you're in stand up, I'm sure you've had hecklers and you got to be on your feet. You got to be witty. You got to be able to fire back right away. And for me, like you said, it's like a muscle that you keep working out. To me, it's like online trolls sometimes can be a lot of fun.
Yes, you can.
That's quick.
That's why occasionally lately, I always like to, I probably talk about this too much, but it seems like whenever I have something go kind of viral, somebody that I did improv with like 10 or 15 years ago thinks to themselves, now's my time to shine. And they always like jump in like, I knew her way back when.
Yeah.
And she's changed. Oh, she'll never be mainstream now. And it's like, girl, and it's like these people that are like, I stood behind her in a line at the deli in 2009. Boy, she's real different now. It's like these fucking losers, these absolute crumbs decide to come out and get their 15 likes. And I'm like, okay, all right. And then this one girl I had to kind of point out because I was like, I knew that she had married a professional clown who later turned out to be gay. I was like, you're going to give me advice on how to be mainstream? You married a fucking literal actual gay clown.
But also she like didn't see that at all. No red flags, not even like flashing lights, nothing.
Yeah, I was like, I was like, what broke you guys up? Like you wouldn't peg him while wearing the big shoes? Like what? How did you guys fall apart?
The Big Bird mask was just too much.
Yeah, would he make you like drink out of like the squirty flower? I don't know. I don't know what gay clowns like. I've never been with one.
I've never been with a clown in general, so even that would just be a whole new experience.
Yeah, no black guys, no clowns. those will have to just remain a mystery for me, and that's okay.
Mhm.
So Faran, did you always want to be a reporter? Because I find you fascinating because I
Oh.
wanted to be a reporter when I was a little girl. Like, and by little, I mean in college. I was mentally little. I was mentally small. So
Um, you didn't miss much. No.
okay.
Well, I'll tell you this. Uh, I actually wanted to be a comedian. So it's kind of funny,
We
roles reversed.
swapped.
We swapped. My ever since I was little, my first initial dream was to be a Weekend Update anchor on Saturday Night Live. I loved watching Weekend
Wow.
Update. I started watching the reruns with my dad when it was like Kevin Nealon, when it was Norm Macdonald was my all-time favorite just because I love Norm.
Yeah.
But even when you had Dan Aykroyd, you had Dennis Miller, who I eventually went on to work with, which was super weird.
Ooh, what was that
But
like?
um he's changed.
Ooh,
He's
how
changed.
so?
Um, he's a lot more ornery now, like a little bit more of an old man.
Okay.
Um,
He got crusty.
yeah, exactly. Because I think a lot of it was he started doing more jokes on the right and people kind of started shoving him out. And then he got a gig at RT America. And I will never forget, he literally said on his show one day, and he used to get like great guests. He was like, yeah, he's like, I used to have a podcast, but it was too much work. I need people to work for me. So here I am. And it's like, bro, like you don't really say that shit out loud. Like it's one of these
Yeah.
things like keep it
It's
to
not
yourself.
endearing. Yeah,
Yeah.
it's not hard at all to do a like, it's not gonna be super on point, but it's very doable to do a podcast completely by yourself. Like, it's
Yeah.
not that hard.
Exactly. So it also shows like, yeah, you're kind of dumb too, because it's pretty easy. Adam Carolla can do it. What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah.
But no, so I started, I then was a competitive dancer for a long time.
Wow! I
Yeah,
didn't know you were a stripper.
I know. Actually,
Yeah.
I was just the level below a stripper. I was an NBA dancer.
Oh
Yeah.
my god, you were like a cheerleader.
Well,
That is so
if you've
exciting.
seen Bring It On, cheerleaders are dancers who have gone retarded. I was a dancer where,
That is so cool. You've done
yeah.
all the things that I wanted to do.
I'm telling you, you didn't miss much. You
Okay.
really didn't miss much. You got paid $50 a game. You had to be there all day. I
Wow.
was happy. It was a great experience, but I was actually just in Phoenix like about a week and a half ago, and we went to the Cardinals opening game, and I see all the dancers come out, and they're all like, cute with their little bodies and their little outfits, and I'm like, oh my god, like I remember those outfits. I love those. And my mom's like, do you miss it? And I was like, hell no. And she was like, why? And I was like, I will never forget the moment when I realized we were somewhat insignificant. It was
Aw.
third quarter, or I'm sorry, triple overtime. It was I danced for the Bulls. It was Derrick Rose's second year. For those who want to know what year with Chicago Bulls, 2009, 2010. Or no, it was 2010, 2011. I'm sorry. And we were going into triple overtime against Cleveland. This is when LeBron James was still playing for Cleveland. And I remember we had to during the fourth quarter, we had to go out and dance for every single timeout. Well, third overtime, we had been out maybe about 25, 26 times by that point. We're all sweating, we're tired as shit. And we get out there and you kind of need some adrenaline because I mean, you're trying to catch your breath going to and from the side of the court to the main court to go dance. And all of a sudden, like we hear like, wow, and we're like, oh my God, like, yes, like the crowd's picking it up. Like they love us. And I look over and there's a guy with the t-shirt gun, like shooting off all these t-shirts. And I'm like, yeah, they're not cheering for us. They want a free t-shirt. They could literally give two
Oh,
shits. But that's when I
no.
realized like these girls work so hard. And then it's like, oh, cool. Like, where's the t-shirts? And you're kind of like, that sucks. So that's why I told my mom, I was like, I did it. It was a great experience. Not everybody gets to say that they used to sit sideline on the court because now all the NBA dancers, they don't sit on the sidelines anymore. Or they move them off because of
Really?
all the accidents and stuff that were
'Cause of all the
happening.
chlamydia.
Yeah, that and the balls in the face and everything.
Okay.
Yeah. So
Oh,
I was one of the
wow.
last generation to sit on the sidelines on the court. So,
There's
but
something
yeah.
really cool about having at least one of those kind of jobs in your, like, 20s, I guess, where you're like, okay, like, you don't know at the time how underpaid you are, or even like your 30s. It doesn't even matter. But have like one job where you're like, this is cooler than it is financially rewarding.
Oh yeah, like TV.
Yeah. Yes.
But the thing was, so then I went on to Second City and I was doing stuff at Second City, and then I realized like, oh, pay is really tough. And I graduated in journalism from Purdue, so I was like, all right, we'll go into TV, and I always knew, that I loved TV. I loved performing. I had performed starting at a young age, but it was one of those things. I didn't know if I was going to do comedy or the news. And one crossover that you see a lot of comics do, a la Dennis Miller, they either go into the weather or they're the morning anchor. And I started as the morning anchor. So yeah, the fun anchor, right? The fun one.
That is fun. Did you get to try a lot of like snacks and like pet animals and stuff? Like that's what I imagine the mornings are like.
Let's see. I have jumped out of what was it? Skydived. I went up in a biplane with like a World War II vet. It was like his final flight that he flew. Don't know why I did that one, because that one could have gone down real fast. No pun intended.
Wow.
Let's see. I drove a BMW at 100 miles an hour on black ice to show how black ice can make, cars skid out at this one tire rack place. I did an ice river rescue where you wear like the big Gumby outfits, and I performed like an ice rescue thing. All the food you can think of. Every puppy has been on the show. I mean, the morning shows are fun. It's just the hours are awful. You have to be in at 3 a.m.
Oh, so what time do you have to go to sleep?
Like 6 or 7, which really works for a dating life.
That's no dating life.
Yeah.
Wow. You have to do all day dates. And then even if you do find somebody, you're like, you just never see them in the evening.
Yeah.
And then they probably
that's
go
the
to work.
part.
And then you're like, I guess I'll see you never. Like, did you pick the weekends too?
Well, and that was the hard part, is then you would be, like it depends upon which network you were with. When I was with Fox, I had to get in at 1 a.m. because it was a 6 to 9. It was a 6 a.m. to 9 a.m. show. It was 3 hours. And when you're local news, you're helping write and produce all that stuff. You don't have like the bigwig producers and stuff. You're doing it all yourself too. So that I had to get in at 1 a.m. For ABC, NBC, and CBS, you can get in at like 3:34. But the show started at 4:30.
At all these times, it's the middle of the night.
But then Friday comes around, you go home at like noon, you try to like take a 4-hour power nap to then like meet everybody for happy hour. Then all of a sudden your entire schedule shifts to like a normal one over the weekend. And then Sunday you're like, oh God, I have to go to bed, or I'm just gonna have to pull an all-nighter, which I usually would just pull an all-nighter to get back in the schedule. Yeah, it sucked.
That's badass.
For 3 years I did it.
That's so badass. I really want to share this clip of yours. I was watching your demo, your new, what's it called? Your news demo. Let me get
Newsreel.
Newsreel. God damn it. That's what it is. All right. I had it and now it's gone. Here it is. I love this part so much because this is how I knew you were funny and like maybe you could possibly have dabbled in comedy. Was this segment right here.
Shared pictures with us on social media of the purple sky. I want to believe it's aliens. Yeah. Maybe it's because the Earth is flat. Who knows?
Wow. It's too early for that.
Yeah.
Supreme Court nominee.
Fuck yeah. You're like, I'm going to red pill where I can.
Oh, yeah.
I don't even know if you actually believe that or not. It's just like, it's so fun to say.
Oh, yeah. I would always kind of say, especially in the morning, there were times where you would have such a lull with the anchors, like where one of them would get tired or whatever. And the one guy on to the right, my black co-anchor, he always
this black co-anchor?
Yeah, what's
Oh my God. Well, I was gonna say sometimes he would kind of like get all low and I'd say shocking stuff just to wake his ass up, and then that's where you hear him, flat earth, and I'm like, yeah, whatever. How's it going, you degenerate?
I'm just fine. How are you?
I'm great. We
Wow.
have everybody in the chat saying 668, so I'm glad that I brought out the new numbers.
Like not quite the devil.
No. Remember on Simpcast we were talking about the 666 thing. Farron's like, nah, 668.
Oh my God! Right, because someone did 563, and you had to pick height, dick size, and earnings.
No, it's height, earning, then dick size.
Height, earning, then dick size.
They
and that
picked
was
the 3-inch penis.
That was no, not me. I didn't.
No,
pick that.
no, they didn't. It was Nina.
Okay, I would never pick it. That's like you figure out your values real quickly with that question.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah, I can help a man make more money. You can't, but I'm not going to be motivated to do that if you're coming at me with 3 inches. Sorry.
And that is exactly what I said. I was like, I will take the $3 paycheck and work with the 5 or the 6.
Let's work with your 6-inch penis and see what we can do.
Yeah, but I'm not taking a 3 with a 6-figure salary.
No,
that's not enough.
That's called self-care. I respect myself too much to take a 3-incher.
Well, but the 3-incher would respect you almost as much as you respect yourself, so that'd be perfect.
That sounded like a diss, but I was like too dumb to understand it.
No, that wasn't a diss. It was a diss on guys respecting women. I was being a feminist. That's what I was doing.
Good.
I was like, because of his tiny penis, he'd be having to try really hard at everything. Like you get foot rubs all day.
Oh wow, yeah, that sounds good, like a simp.
Exactly. Then you just have a side dude to make up the extra 5 inches.
Me and Faran were just realizing that we had like opposite dreams and pursued like opposite jobs from like our youth to our old age. Like I really wanted to be a reporter and I wanted to be like a professional. Well, I wanted to be a gymnast, and I feel like a dancer is like a close second place.
We don't flip. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And Faran maybe thought she wanted to do comedy, but then went into news, and it was like really neat.
It's weird because I always wanted to be a woman.
Nah, it's not too late.
You still can, Nick.
I know. I get to realize my dreams. I'm saving up.
Yeah, it won't take much.
Yeah, just a
whoosh. I don't know if that was a diss that I was too dumb to get right there.
What's so crazy, because I'm watching your reel, Faran, and one of my 15 day jobs that I've had throughout my life was I was an assistant to an agent. So like I worked for a company that like they represented news people. Like I think, God, is there any reason why I can't say the name of the company?
I probably know. Okay. I probably know.
You probably know it. There's probably. I'm like, how many really are there? I worked for a company that represented news talent, and I thought this was such a cool job. I was like, wow, I'm gonna be moving up in the world. I'm an agent's assistant. Meanwhile, it's like you're just doing menial tasks. Like that's all it is. You're not in the media. You're just like somebody else's bitch. But
I was gonna say, I could find you. I could find you as you're talking. I'll find you a
boss,
video.
I don't work there anymore. My boss represented Lori Dew, who worked for Fox at the time, and I'll never forget. She came in. She was so high maintenance. She was like, "Dude," I was like, "Oh, can I get you some water or something?" Because that's part of my job as assistant. She's like, "Do you have any flavored seltzer?" And I'm looking around, like my chair has 2 wheels that fell off of it, and I was like, "No, this is not a flavored seltzer situation here, Lori." Okay. Fuck. And I had to watch so many of those reels, and I would sit with my boss, and like, he would like judge them, and I would be like, it would be crazy. Like he'd watch it for 2 seconds. He'd be like, nope, fat neck, get her out of there. It takes nothing.
It truly does take nothing.
Fat neck. Oh, that's
and the other thing too is I will say, like, I got in. Like you go to J school, or journalism J school, and they're like, you're gonna have a photographer, you're gonna have a live truck guy doing everything, and like right when I get in, I'm like, they're like, oh yeah, you're gonna shoot all this up by yourself, you're gonna set up your live shot by yourself, and you're like, wait, hang on a second. So like everything I just learned, like that I didn't learn, I have to learn it. So here is me, a young Faran reporter, setting up my live by myself.
Waiting. Jackie makes you look fat.
Oh no! Oh my God!
So you're just
reporting.
You're doing this completely by yourself?
Yep. You have to set up the camera by yourself and everything.
You just got brown snowed.
Oh, and that guy knew exactly what he was doing. Exactly. But yeah,
Nick.
That's true reporting, folks.
That is reporting. That sounds fun.
Imagine not having YouTube Premium. What kind of degenerate are you?
Okay, I did have it, and then my credit card got retarded, and then I. All right, Frank has it, but I don't. We're on different accounts.
Why?
I had YouTube Premium, and then I don't know, something. I had to get a new card, and then I just
get on like the family plan or whatever. You can just add whoever you want to it. It's cost the same.
Really?
You can have like
Maybe
6
Frank will
people
put me
on
his family plan.
They lowered the price too because they saw a bunch of people leaving. because they were like, I'm not paying for premium anymore because YouTube is censoring. So they lowered the price.
I also don't have Spotify Premium if you want to make fun of me for that too.
No, because if you have YouTube Premium, then you just have YouTube Music, which is just the same as Spotify.
Interesting. I'll have to look into that.
I hate Spotify. Spotify can lick my balls.
Oh, God. Their tongue's not small enough.
I'm gonna run through a couple. Mr. Scott Langford, thanks for becoming a new member.
I'm sure the physics of that.
guys, Chrissy and X-Ray Girl merch on the site. Why aren't you simping harder? Chrissy, your hair is looking great today. Wow, thank you. Alan Reese, Faran is a beautiful young lady who has lost weight. What a legend. Total respect. You look amazingly gorgeous. Wow, we got a simp in the chat.
Well, do you want to know how I lost all the weight?
I do want to know.
We just want videos of you losing the weight.
Is it bulimia?
Yeah, check her garbage can.
Yeah. Last night, Nick checked in. He asked if I was throwing up 3 times a day, which I said yes. And he said, up it to 4, bitch. And I said, yes, daddy.
That's right.
That clip in there is the reason why it all happened. Because there was a stream where I just got freaking roasted.
I got so excited thinking this was Gavin McGinnis.
I know, right?
One of his most popular things. Like people came up live.
This is my video.
Do you throw up?
No, fair and balanced. Don't do this. Why would you do this? No. Fair and balanced says, Nick, I need motivation badly. I need a fat shaming alarm ASAP. I need to drop 50 pounds. Really go for the jugular. Just let it all out. Go for gold.
Oh, no. You did this to
your
her.
stream. Yeah, your live stream was they did it. Yeah.
Yeah. The fact that that is the most popular thing. I'm like, first of all,
okay,
that's awesome.
Give me a moment.
But second of all, it's hilarious. Like he does a really good job of it.
Fair and balanced, you're a terrific YouTuber. It was a great show, but I have to admit, what attracted me to it first was gravity.
I played that for my mother.
No.
The fat shame alarm that Nick did for me.
The light actually was bent towards your channel because of your massive status. They say the camera adds 20 pounds. For you, I hope it's 200 because, my God, you've got a long way to go. Get up out of whatever chair somehow God sent is supporting you and get onto a fucking treadmill. I don't know if you have to put like 12 chili dogs on a stick in front of you dangling from a rope, but you need to run endlessly.
Oh my
Run
God.
from the camera, run from life, run from everything until nothing can catch you because you're lithe, lean, and fast. Because right now, the only L's are being taken by every scale you step on.
Wow.
Why would this prick say this to you?
And my God, no more Herculean task has ever been asked on the earth, except for when someone was asked to lift you out of the couch.
Wow.
So, pick your ass up, start running, start walking, start clapping, and most importantly, stop eating.
I was like, I paid for him.
Remember that you asked for this.
And I'm like, Mom, I paid for him to do this. And she's like,
eating.
why? And I'm like,
I actually like you. I actually like you. I don't like to do that to my friends.
Wow.
But I will.
So effortlessly.
I will if they need it.
yeah.
Why do people do this?
Is
It's
this a
been
service
baked
you
into
provide,
me.
Nick? Are you a professional
yeah.
fat shamer on the side?
Yeah, but
Yes.
if you keep scrolling, I was gonna say there's one end screen though that you have to put up as a disclaimer.
Oh wait,
Oops.
yeah.
Wait, I have to
On
share
that
the same
video.
thing again.
Yeah.
Okay, I missed it.
It's at the very end.
Oh
There
shit.
There you go. It works, folks. It really does.
How much do your fat shames go for?
Oh, anywhere from $5 to $20.
Okay, all right. So a $5
100 if
fat
you're
shame,
saucy.
your heart's
Well-
not going to be in it.
Like it just yeah. I mean, I'm like a stripper, right? If you throw a 1, like I jiggle a little bit, but if you throw a 20, oh man, I got to
You
put
jiggle a
lipstick
lot.
on,
Yeah. Which is
and
what
then you'll
he
have
did.
lipstick on.
Yep.
Yeah, no, it's good times. It's good times, and people they come up to this. That's actually awkward when I go to conventions and people come up and ask for them in person.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Wow.
yeah, that's good. You never know when you're going to get punched or eaten.
Faran is very hot, but lives by the 668 rule. So for you, it was is the 8 the penis part?
That's just what I said last night.
Okay.
Nice queen over here.
Yes.
Wow. You
But what
must
she
really
didn't
think
say
highly of
is
yourself.
she's not a girth queen, so it's like 8 inches long, but only like a half inch across.
No, that's not good. You need the girth. You don't want to be cowbelling in there, you know?
Exactly. Hot dog down a hallway. Yeah.
A dinner triangle.
Yeah, no.
It's hitting all the right places. No, you're doing fine.
Yeah, just not all at once.
Keep going. I'm definitely not thinking about my calendar right now.
Definitely not thinking about how much traffic there is going to be on the way home. Chrissy, do you know anyone that can help Faran with her cobwebs? If not, Faran, I'm only a flight to the Rocky Mountains away, and I'm a fit 666.
Oh, God.
Woo!
Get that butt.
But I feel like, Trevor, if you truly were a 666, you would have a picture in your profile instead of a gray tee.
Oh,
So-
not everybody. I don't
I
have a
see.
picture in my profile, Chrissy.
I don't know. I think if you got it, flaunt it. Throw up a picture.
That's true. This is true.
Okay, I'm gonna put a picture in my profile then.
Jerk off juggernaut. Faran, hear me out. 5'5", 4.5. Let's meet in the middle and balance it out. Fair and balanced.
I like it. I like it. Jerk off juggernaut. I like
4.5. No, that's where you lose me.
Oh, God.
You know what? So I got a message from a friend who watched this show, or who watched show I did last night and watched Simpcast, and was just like absolutely defeated because basically every woman answered 6 for the first one.
What's
height.
the height?
Yeah.
No, that one we can really, I think.
I could do
there's more-
5'11".
There's more wiggle room on that.
Mhm.
You'll slum it and do 5'11". Okay.
I could not. If you are a dude
Height is
coming at
not
me,
as
you
important.
better be at least 6 feet tall or get out of my fucking mentions.
I say height is not important, but it's like I'm 5'3", so I'm gonna
You're
say
that little?
Oh, you're fine
Yeah.
then, bitch. You have nothing to worry about. It's me
Yeah,
who's
why don't you
5'8".
Hook
I'm
up with
fine-
Peter. You look up to Peter Dinklage.
Yeah. I mean, I'm fine no matter what because I'm engaged. But like, if I wasn't engaged, yeah, I've only dated a couple guys where I was like, oh, I'm seeing too much eye to eye here. Like, I gotta at least wear heels.
Looking like a little troop of Oompa Loompas over there.
Yeah, I'm not picky. I was like at least 5'6", 5'7".
We represent, like walking into restaurants together.
We
are the Lollipop Guild.
Yeah.
I'm like,
Two for the Lollipop Guild, please.
and I'm like, stop singing, just pay the bill.
Yes, I do have a permission slip from my parents to be here.
No, you can't
God.
pay in lollipops.
No.
jeez.
Travis, Faran, hey girl, I'm a simp. I'm a 6'5'6", just saying.
Again, with the T. Can't see.
Yeah, just another gray tea. Oh my god, it's like it's like a plague
Yeah.
upon men.
Yeah.
Wonder Bucket. Norm Macdonald is also my favorite comedian ever. Ooh, I feel like this is a lot of just eligible bachelors in the chat for you,
Yeah.
Faran.
Well, Norm isn't my favorite. He was my favorite on Weekend Update because I said I wanted to be a Weekend Update anchor. George Carlin is my ultimate favorite.
Classic.
All-time favorite. Mm-hmm.
So you did Groundlings or Second City?
Second City.
And what was that like? Because I had a similar, I was in UCB, like kind of just rotting away for 5 years, hoping to be picked for something. And then I realized, oh, they're just going to keep taking my money. Oh, okay. Then I eventually like did a one-woman show and then did stand-up. But did you feel like you had a sense of like progression? And
You know, I did, but then I started to see, and you know this as a female too, as a female comic, sometimes like especially when you get in, because for those that don't know, Second City is all improv. It's like group improv, and it started to get to the point
Into
where
group stuff. Got it. Okay.
yeah, love group stuff. But 6'5", 6'6" is usually like the minimum number I want of each representation.
oh yeah,
Holy
that's
Yeah.
just for, and that's
Garden of
just for
success
zip
over
zap zop.
Yeah, exactly. But I started to see where I either was, they automatically like in, you know, as you're going through the scene, either they would like start to have me as like a complete and total bitch or the dumb blonde. And I was like, you guys, there is more to me than just two spectrums, and it was one of these where it's like, okay. And then plus, I mean, the money, I mean, I was tired as working as like, a bartender, even though I was working at Trump Tower in Chicago. But I mean, it was just, I can't do this life forever. And it was like burning the candle at both ends, bartending and then going and doing Second City. And it was just a lot. And then I was like, you know what? I did it. I can say that I did it, just like dancing for the NBA. But now we go on to the career.
You're giving me a little bit like of Cecily Strong vibes. Like, I think you're funny like her and like maybe similar-ish looking, like if you were brunette.
Maybe
like this may have been it. I may have backed into an insult here without knowing it.
No, she's really pretty.
Okay.
She's really pretty. She actually did the White House Correspondents' Dinner.
Yeah.
I think she was she wasn't the first female, but I think she was the first female like in a while.
Yeah.
But yeah, she actually did a pretty good job too. Because I mean, that's always the hard part with a comedian is when you get the White House Correspondents' Dinner, whatever president is there, you're automatically going to be like, oh, this liberal, or oh, she bombed her. And female comedians have a harder time. I truly believe that. Just because not only does looks count, but the way you land a joke, you can't be that like, people sometimes don't find that funny,
I don't know if female comedians have a harder time. I just think a bunch of other female comedians have ruined it for you.
I agree with that.
That's true.
Like
yes.
What, that Susan Cho chick or Margaret
Cho? And I used to love
terrible.
her.
Why? Oh my God. Never mind.
No.
You ruined it for yourself.
No. Her old stand-up where she would talk about her mom, about like the first time she got her mom high. And she's like, oh, I could go get some popcorn. I'm so high. Like she would do funny impressions of her mom, and her old stand-up was good. And then she got like activist. And I was like, okay, click.
Why does that always happen?
It's the activist, or like literally every joke becomes about a vagina. Like every single joke. It's like, okay, like vaginas are great and wonderful and funny sometimes, but not all the time. Like, and some of these chicks like Amy Schumer. Oh God. Like, ugh. I just want to.
I hate that that's all. Amy Schumer is what comes up. That's how you know there's not enough good female comics, because people always go, oh, Amy Schumer is like their basis for comparison.
Sarah Silverman had a great comedy moment once.
She did, but also went activist.
Well, I was going to say it was at the beginning of Way of the Gun when she got punched in the face by Ryan Felipe. That was fucking hilarious.
Yeah. Haven't seen that one.
I agree.
That's like the best intro to a movie of all time. A Way of the Gun. The first like 5 minutes is.
Seen it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so yeah, Benicio del Toro and Ryan Felipe sit on this guy's BMW. He's with Sarah Silverman in a line waiting to get into a club. And she's like, hey, you fuckheads, get off the car. And she starts screaming at them and saying all this shit. And Ryan Felipe said, wait, how many naughty words can I use? All of them?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, try not to use the N-word. I reserved that
No. He just says, he says, shut that cunt's mouth before I come over there and fuck start her head.
Wow.
And then, oh God, it's beautiful. It's like, seriously, Way of the Gun is this underrated film that's fantastic, but it's also got the best first 5 minutes of any movie I've ever seen.
That sounds great.
Well, I know what I'm watching this weekend. But the one comedian I will say that I loved, and I loved, my grandmother loved her because I think she was just very new wave and kind of walked so the rest of the female comics could run, was Joan Rivers. I loved Joan Rivers. And she died for her comedy. When she called Michelle Obama a transgender and then went on that operating table to get her facelift fixed, and she died. You can't tell me that had anything to do with it.
You're so base, Faran. Yes. Yeah, that's what happens when you out big Mike. You're not going to live through it.
Yep.
She and Papa Scalia went together to the sky.
Oh my God. Yeah. Joan is was such a big inspiration for me when I would do these roast battles, and also like now just for regular stand-up, because she was just ruthless and so on. And that's the thing, you don't even think of it as like mean. Just say like, what is the most honest you could be? And that's usually a good roast joke.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So those are great roasts. Also, like the completely flippant roast for like when you need to roast someone who actually needs to be put down, like the heckler or whatever, you got to stop them because they're being a piece of shit. Like you give them a no effort, like grade school insult. And they're so pissed off that you didn't put any thought into it. Oh, it's that's magic. That's the spice. And they're like, no, I thought I was gonna get something clever. It's like, no, you're just gay
like,
or
no,
whatever.
I'm just gonna call you gay. Yeah,
you have high-waisted feminine hips. Sit down, you know.
Sit down, Shaq.
Yeah.
They're looking at their hips like, oh God, I wasn't even thinking about that.
Mm-hmm.
From NVIDIA, 2 beautiful, funny ladies and 1 very handsome black man. Good show.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh,
From
boy.
Matthew Hammond, if the movie Frequency starred Pete Davidson, his father would not have skipped bringing your child to work day. Yes. This is complicated. I haven't seen the movie Frequency.
I think it's about firemen.
Yeah.
Frequency is about it's Jim Caviezel, right? And he like accidentally tunes like a ham radio to the past to tell his father Ray Liotta, I think, is his dad or something. Was Ray Liotta his dad? Who was it? No, it was
oh God.
No, it was the guy. Fucking hell, I know his name. I'm not gonna. Not Harrison Ford, but the one who reminds me of Harrison Ford, Dennis Quaid. Quaid.
Yes.
Yeah, and he has to make Dennis Quaid save his mom from getting murdered. It's a weird fucking movie.
Yeah.
I'll put it on my
weird
watch list.
My wife loves that movie.
I think a lot about the whole, and someone asked me this in an interview this week, like, do women comedians have it harder? And I think it's kind of a dumb question because I don't know what it's like to be a male comedian, so I have nothing to compare it to. And it's like, you can also make the argument it's hard for everybody. Like, it's particularly hard for white guys right now because they are called a dime a dozen. They go, oh, you're not like diverse enough for any of the roles, or like nobody wants to see you. And like a lot of show producers are not, you know, they're just going out of their way to virtue signal by booking a really diverse lineup. And I think women early in their comedy careers can take advantage of even if you're a little bit good looking, you know, and someone has a crush on you, like you can get booked a lot off of that. And nobody wants to really talk about that, but it's like, all right, that'll be your alley-oop, but then you have to be funny. You have to take it from there.
Right.
So,
right.
There was a guy who flat out said that on, it was a show a couple years ago and he got pilloried for it. But basically he's like, yeah, if like a female comedian was cute and wanted on set, like he'd just get a blowjob out of her and then she'd be.
Was it Joey Diaz?
Yeah. That's
yeah,
it was Joey Diaz. There was huge.
Oh, and he's hard to look at. I'm surprised. I mean, he must have had a really good show if people were blowing him spot.
Yeah, because
he was joking. Oh, okay. Frank said he was joking. He's talking about how that can happen. Okay.
Okay.
That makes sense.
Poor Joey Diaz. I was about to be happy for how many blowjobs he got. But,
yeah.
But then it's not true. Damn.
But there's also this whole premise though, like, for example, when I was in DC, I saw Michelle Wolf. And
hi Faran.
Oh my god. Hi everybody. I did the White House Correspondents' Dinner. It's me.
And with her like little fro. I mean she's sweet, like when she was like walking through the crowd, but like I'm so like the 2 people before her were 10 times funnier. Yes, they were men, but all of her jokes weren't landing. They were all social justice warriors. And she's like, you know why women have it bad? And we're like, why do we have it bad? Like, it was one of these things, like, you just saw her drowning and you're like, do we help her? Do we just let it happen?
Ever comes after. Do you know why it's hard to be a woman? It's like, I'm sure I have a bunch of premises that. Well, then that's like I have a bunch of jokes like that, but
it's not hard to be a woman. It's just hard to be you.
It's hard when I do it. No.
Yeah, but so she started like with all these social justice, political jokes, and then when she saw that the audience just wasn't responding, even after a 2-drink minimum, she just started into sex jokes, and then people started laughing. But I was like, you know. Like George Carlin said, like talking about current events and resorting to sex jokes is lazy comedy. He talked about this all the time. Oh, shit. And it's one of those things where
current events is considered lazy too.
I feel personally
this is also though, from the frickin' goat himself, who was like literally sprouting, philosophical ideas,
Okay,
per
yeah, he was
show,
philosophical.
and he wasn't very improv like. He was more scripted and, but
Yeah.
no, I mean, like, just when you see women resorting to sex jokes, I don't know, I'm just kind of like, really? Like,
God, which
really?
I do, but I try not to do too many of them.
Well,
And
that's the thing. Yeah, you can't do too many. Like you could
yeah,
do dating jokes and a couple here and there, but when that's all it is, I forget who it was. Well, I mean, Amy Schumer, that was the whole premise of hers. What was it, before her baby stand up?
yeah.
And it got
It
gross.
it works if you're not graphic. Like I have 10 minutes on getting a Brazilian wax, but it's not about like my vagina per se. It's more about my relationship with the waxer and how it's awkward and like how she's like making fun of me, like saying it looks like I have like a big cooch or something. Like
Mhm.
it's more just about like the awkwardness rather than like, yeah, like I don't like it when women are talking about like
But that's like a guy talking about when he goes to get a
secretions and
massage.
blood and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. Mhm.
Wait, the guy talking. Tell me more about guys getting massages. I'm very interested.
I'm trying to remember I think it was either Joe Coy or Bert Kreischer where they talked about getting a massage for the first time. Or no,
Oh,
John Mulaney. And he goes, she
Oh,
told me,
Mulaney's pretty funny.
oh, I love, he went to St. Ignatius out here in Chicago. And that story that he talks about in his stand-up about all the kids at the house where he threw a beer bottle on the floor and said, "Scatter," when all the cops showed up. My second oldest brother was at that party.
Ooh.
That was a true story.
So
Yeah.
you could fact check that joke.
That has been fact checked. But no, he's like, she told me to dress to my comfort level or dress down to my comfort level. So I put on a turtleneck, and it's just, he talks about, but it's not so much the sex stuff, but it could get sexual, but yeah, like
Yeah.
waxing. I mean, that's like every chick does it,
I think
And if
that'd
not,
be
they should.
a great audio book would just be recordings, like just audio recordings of women talking to their Brazilian specialists. Like that would be fucking hilarious.
Wow.
Like that should just be a podcast, like today in Vagina Town or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
Or no,
It's
no,
so
it's
awkward.
called Clean That Grout.
Yeah, exactly. Clean that grout.
Clean That Grout.
Route. Oh.
Yeah, I learned about that last night.
Have either of you ever gone
Nick,
to the
by the way, you look so handsome today.
Oh, thank you. Thank
Young
you.
Pei wants us to compliment you more.
I really appreciate that, Young Pei, and thank you for the pity compliment, Chrissy. I really appreciate that as well.
Stop it. I was gonna say that anyway.
Have you ever gone into the massage place and they're like dressed down to your level of comfort, and then you go in there and there's no blanket or sheet or anything?
No.
Awesome, best massage on the planet.
Oh no,
Was this
I'd be
massage
like,
at
excuse me.
No, it was down in the Caribbean though. There were no blankets.
She had to leave. She had a lot of homework.
Yeah. No, it was like no, we did my wife and I, we did the couples massage, and we go into the couples massage room and there's just two tables. It's like,
Wow.
oh, okay. But it was great.
But was it a cushy table though?
Yeah, it was
Did you
a
wear your
massage table.
underwear? Did she
No.
wear her underwear?
Completely nude.
There wasn't even a sheet over it?
No, not a sheet, not a towel,
Where
nothing.
were you?
I'll tell you later.
Oh, that's so unsanitary.
But yeah, so it's it was great though, because like normally, like as a guy, let's talk about this. There's an impediment to a massage when you're laying on your back,
Your
right?
dick.
And they're like trying to work around. They're like, they take the sheet and they have to like push it over out of the way. It's really fucking awkward. In this case, they just knew exactly where it was and just worked around it. It was much more comfortable. Much more comfortable.
I was a couple of bad days at work away from becoming a massage therapist. I really thought about it. I went to an informational seminar, and then my mom was like, "Chrissy, you might have to massage a fat person," and then and that was enough to steer me away.
You're like, that's not even the half of it, Mom.
I was like, "That's it, I'm out."
Wait till I tell you how I have to earn $20 tips at the end.
Oh boy.
My girlfriend wants to leave me for watching this podcast. Wow.
Why? Did you tell her you were gay for me?
Yeah.
Yeah.
You shouldn't do that, fam.
Don't
Not a good
tell-
plan.
Yeah, don't tell her that you're gay for Nick. John Yarber, Nick. All I have to say is, oh God, no, don't worry about this.
What is this?
I'm just gonna take this off.
Cartwheels with comedians.
No, that's fine. Let's not do that. Next
I
one.
mean, come on.
Hey, it's Russell
Dead air.
Hall. How many libs does the camera add to a nose? Oh, pounds, lobs.
26. No, Chrissy, I sat here through your little cute jokes and your snickering, and what's this cartwheel thing? What's going on?
All right.
When was the last time you've done a cartwheel?
Not recently enough. Maybe like a couple months ago. Although I'll stand on my head from time to time, like it helps me think.
What is this?
What is this? Oh, there's an ad.
How embarrassing for me.
Faran, wait. Oh, that's yours again.
Okay.
It's not me.
This is so gay. This is so
Hi, welcome to Cartwheels with Comedians on StageBuddy.com. I'm Kirsten, and I'm here with Chrissie Mayr.
I think that
How
love
long ago
and
was
hate are
that?
two really similar emotions. Like I always know when a guy says he loves me, like what he really means is he
It's not working.
Oh, YouTube's being beautiful.
hates condoms.
How did you get into comedy?
I started improv right after I interned with Late Night with Conan O'Brien. So then I did a one-woman show.
Oh, this is so choppy.
After a few years at Magnet,
This
and
is
then
so
I realized,
boring.
I just did a half hour on stage. I could totally do stand-up.
So have you done a cartwheel before?
I have, but never
I don't think we don't have to keep watching this.
never on camera.
Are you nervous?
I'm a little
did you
nervous. Yeah,
Go straight into the dirt when you tried the cartwheel?
I'm a little nervous. I'm wearing a skirt, but you know what? It'll be fine.
You already know how to do cartwheel.
Why is it being so gay?
I don't know.
Well, so you don't need my direction. I'm just going to let you go and do it.
Do you want one arm or two?
Oh my gosh, you can do both. Get ready.
What?
How many tabs do you have open?
I have a lot of tabs open.
That'll do it.
Oh shit. But
That'll
they're
do
all
it, bitch.
Check the atmosphere. And she's got underwear on too. Thank goodness.
I know that I should care, but I don't. I know that's weird. Yep, there it is, everybody.
A confident naked comedian. All right, show us the one-handed.
Oh God. Okay, here we go. I think I'm gonna try to hold my skirt with one hand and cartwheel with the other.
Get set. Go.
Almost nailed it.
Scream each time. Like not that many people would probably notice, but I can't not scream.
Thank you so much, Chrissy, for joining us today. And thank you for watching Cartwheels with Comedians on
Bye.
That was good cartwheeling, though.
That was my big break.
Why can't you do
that's what
one-handed
broke you?
cartwheels? Like,
Yeah, one-handed is not that difficult.
I know, but
Yeah,
why
it's
can
easy.
you do them? Like,
I
because
was
you
a
were like,
gymnast.
you're like, oh, I see. That makes sense. You're like, what, one-handed or two?
Varsity, baby. I made varsity in 7th grade.
Oh wow.
And they put us on the high school team because there was no like middle school gymnastics team.
Oh wow.
Was Jerry Nadler your coach or physician?
No, that's why I didn't make it. I think if I had been in the right school and been molested here and there, I think I could have gone to the Olympics.
You guys want to hear something crazy?
Yep.
Crazy about my life. Okay. So I grew up in
gotta look
DuPage
this way.
County. I grew up in DuPage County. And
Topanga County?
huh?
Topanga County?
No, DuPage County.
DuPage.
It's right outside of Chicago. I grew up in the suburbs of Chicago. And the school that I went to was a small school. Everybody thought it was a private school. It wasn't. It was just a small school in my town that I grew up in. And in 1 year, I had 2 people from my little junior high that made like national news. That was super trippy. The first
Well, so
one,
did Columbine. I mean, to be fair.
Yeah.
Oh, you dick. Don't steal my thunder, okay?
Yeah, Sandy Hook.
There you go. Shot you down. Anyway, but I get a call from my mom one day and she's like, Faran, it's him. And I'm like, it's who? And she goes, George. I'm like, George who? She's like, George Papadopoulos. It's the George Papadopoulos you went to school with. And I'm like, what are you talking about? It was the day that he got arrested. for the whole Trump stuff. I went to a school dance with him. I grew up with him. Kind of dumber than a bag of hammers, not gonna lie, but which maybe is why he got in trouble. But then I'm covering the Larry Nassar trial. I'm a news anchor in Grand Rapids at the time, and I'm driving to and from Lansing covering this, and I see Nassar come in for the first day, and I see his female lawyer next to him, and I'm like, oh my God, that's Molly Blythe. She's a year older than me. We went to junior high together, and it was just so trippy when you start seeing people. And again, like my town, very small, not like, we had like some school where like all these NFL players come from or anything. It was just two infamous things that all came from my school. And it was like, well, I'm next. Let's see if we can get next. But yeah, it was so trippy, especially the George Papadopoulos one. So trippy because I went to school with him, kindergarten to 8th grade. So weird.
Was he a 6'6" back then?
Yeah.
He was Greek, so I'm sure, yes.
Probably was a 3'3".
He was Greek. He's probably not a
Greek.
6.
Did it smell like feta down there?
I wouldn't know, and thank God I don't.
Oh, God.
Oh, right.
Oh. Oh, God.
You ladies are looking great tonight, all three of you. Thanks, Am.
Thank you, Am.
Ammer.
Thanks, Am.
From Rick Nikita, ketchup or mustard on hot dogs?
Ketchup.
Mustard.
Oh, disgusting.
Just ketchup. Nothing else.
What?
Well,
Somebody
and mayo.
You a child?
Ketchup and mayo and sweet pickle relish.
Ugh.
What trash bin were you raised in?
Ketchup is for
The one
children.
that wants to piss off Chicago. That's it.
Oh, you disgusting degenerate. Ugh. No.
Yeah,
Is
maybe.
the correct answer mustard?
The correct answer is mustard, but the true correct answer is tomatoes, relish, mustard, a long pickle, couple hot peppers, and did I say tomatoes? And a dab of celery salt.
It's not bad.
That's good.
Dab.
That's good.
It's not bad. I'm
Wow,
not
and that's the Chicago thing. We had really good. I've only been to Chicago once because I'm afraid of getting murdered. But we had Illuminati.
And Farron wonders why she needs to throw up 3 times a day.
Yeah, exactly.
Deep dish pizza from Illuminati's, and it was one of the best things I've ever put in my mouth.
And that is the true Chicago pizza. They always talk about Pizzeria Uno or Giordano's. It's cheese on cardboard. It's disgusting. The thing that makes Illuminati's the best is they have the cornbread crust, because a lot of people are like, what makes it what it is?
So
it's a cornbread crust. It's amazing.
That is something I would break keto for.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and Jim is telling me I forgot onions. Onions on the hot dog too. My bad.
Onions.
Yeah.
Benjamin the
How
Dream
could you
Wizard.
forget?
Please think of me when you
could
have
I?
a dream which demands understanding, and consider joining me on my Dreamscapes program. Love you all. Who's this? Who's who brought this weirdo into the chat? You, Nick, or you?
I have
Farron?
no idea. I've never seen him before.
Who is this sociopath?
Dream person. This is not one of mine.
Dude, if I have a dream that demands understanding, I don't know if I want to talk about it online. Those are usually wildly uncomfortable.
Just look it up.
Dude, I love dreaming. I don't do it enough.
Me too. Tukik. Farron, you were killing it last night. I couldn't help but think a perpetually miserable victim like Keffels can only wish they could be like you.
At least I have a real grout.
Grout. Oh, yeah.
Grout. Mm-hmm.
When in doubt, clean your grout.
Oh, boy.
That was my yearbook quote. Clifton 3D, not a simp, 6, but I have no idea what the other numbers are. Have a great show, though. Maybe Zipper is interested. Oh, Zipper.
Who's Zipper?
We did a Frost cast earlier today, and it was myself and Az from Friday Night Tights. He played Zipper, which was Frost was the woman who was just fired from G4 for doing a sexism in gaming rant, and then tweeting that she made it through the first round of firings, and then they fired her like the following Tuesday, which was yesterday.
That was so funny because she's like, I survived, and she was like very distastefully shitting on all the people who like got laid off, and then it's like 4 days later, you're gone too. Get out of here.
See you, bitch. Mm-hmm.
Why didn't they just get rid of her in the first place? Like, what?
I think because she's a lesbian. You can't fire the lesbians right away. Just like they demoted Don Lemon to mornings because he's gay and black. They can't just fire these types of people.
Say he's a lesbian too, but
he's also
he's super gay. That's right. I forgot.
All she had to do was just hang on and quiet down a little bit, but she couldn't do that.
All I know is next time I'm in a pinch, I'm a lesbian.
Oh, me too. I'm going trans. I'm gonna be like, you see this? I'm gonna bandage up my arm. I'm gonna come back in the room and be like, look, I'm starting to grow a dick on this. I'm serious. Like, I'm all in. This is happening. Be like, smell it, and then they'll be like, stop it, get away from us.
I'm just telling y'all, it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It's fine.
Oh yeah,
being a lesbian's easy.
No, it's not. Have you ever?
No, it's not.
Have
Have you heard the Bill Burr joke where he talks about, have you seen men and lesbians, how they're both miserable? It's because of women.
That's great.
I think he's kind of right on sometimes, you know?
That's true. Most vaginas are complicated. Cornelius Buttknuckle, Faran, last night on Nick's stream, you said you didn't own any sex toys. So do your fingers perpetually look like prunes then, or what? Or they said prunes.
Hey, Cornelius Buttknuckle, I have piano fingers, motherfucker.
Oh.
Yeah, not prunes. But
I didn't realize you had Asian fingers.
But they're very nimble and dexterous.
But I might have arthritis in like 2 years. So no.
Wow. Good for you.
You got to get a man to help fix that.
Yeah. Oh boy. Here's the thing though.
I never figured out how to use my fingers. I still haven't figured it out.
And just do the whole fist then? That's what I would do.
Yeah, just put the whole thing up there.
Yeah.
Or a foot.
Oh God.
I noticed you didn't say your foot. You said a foot. So like just find one.
Great. Mom, can you pick me up? I'm scared.
No, wait. The last guy who did that got run over.
What?
Do you guys not know that story?
No.
It's like the trending story. This kid, this 18-year-old guy got in an argument with like a 40-year-old guy at some like protest, and then the 40-year-old guy fucking ran him over. And like the last call, he called his mom like, hey, this guy's following me. Can you come get me? And by the time she got there, he's dead.
Whoa.
Where was this?
Ah, shit, I don't know.
Probably Chicago.
Happened.
Probably.
Like it just happened. Someone in the chat knows this story where they were.
Damn.
Yeah, he was also
ran them
North
over.
Dakota. Yeah, it was North Dakota.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Pipeline protest.
And he's out on 50K bail bond, North Dakota.
Wow.
Wow, good for them. Nothing really happens in North Dakota.
You really need a vehicular homicide to spice things up from time to time.
Story.
Yeah. It's
North
been a little
Dakota
boring.
and its residents are in a dying marriage, and they really need to try some new stuff out.
Been a little boring up here, eh? You need some new spice. Sorry.
Amy Schumer getting famous after she transitioned from Miss Piggy to her current form ruined the public's taste for female comics. This is true. This is true. The squid.
I would also say it was her little vagina smell joke that just really just put it over the edge.
I don't know that one.
Oh, that was her one before the baby stand.
I remember she had a joke where she said, my underpants always look like I blew my nose in them. And I was like, oh, God.
You fucking sick bitch. Go to a doctor.
Yeah, take a shower.
Yeah. Oh.
Exfoliate. I don't know. Take a bath.
Yeah, no, she said something along the lines like, oh, she's like, the one thing that I love about my new boyfriend is he loves cooking fish, so he can't tell the difference between that and my vagina. And it was like, okay, like, and you even heard the audience was just like,
that's tricky because it's like there's a way to be self-deprecating that leads to being funny, and it's like, but you can't be more disgusting than you are self-deprecating because then it the scales tip towards the overall feeling is you're disgusting. So it's like she had just too much of column A. Right, exactly.
I have no idea how people do stand-up comedy. Like I don't get it. Like this isn't the lead up to a joke either. I genuinely like respect the craft of it because I have no fucking idea how to do it. It's weird. And so I see people do that.
You think. I think you could get on stage and like just sort of like wing it and get some laughs. Like you could, if you're funny on a podcast, like it's not exactly like doing stand up, but it's like it's a start. You know?
Yeah, it's close, but like the whole like planning out jokes and stuff. Because what if you get there and everybody in the crowd is attractive? Like then you can't make fun of any of them. That'd be terrible.
You have to picture them all naked.
Oh, you can always find something. You can always find
Not
something.
I've never in 12 years been to a show where everyone in the crowd has been attractive. So
Yeah.
I think you'd be all right there.
And most of them usually sit up front, from what
Yeah.
I've gathered.
The
Yeah.
attractive people or the ugly people?
The ugly people.
Oh, where do the attractive people sit?
They're not at comedy shows. They're at home having sex with someone who's also attractive.
Exactly.
No, that's not always true, though. I mean, you've seen the
a lot of attractive people are at the clubs, to be honest. Like they're out trying to like get some, like, you know what I mean?
Or I feel like it's attractive people, but like the ones that are front row, you know, like the money seats, it's like date night.
That's date, or that's like we gotta splash up our relationship. Like they're
Exactly.
literally sitting in the splash zone. They're gonna get droplets.
Exactly. Exactly.
They're
But
gonna get
I was
wafted.
I was telling Nick though, I was like, if he were to ever to do stand up, despite his like, you know, background and all of his little allegations and stuff, but if you've ever watched Chris D'Elia, he is, or D'Elia, however you say his name, he is like the master of like improv, like where he's gone up and he'll like make fun of not comics, he'll make fun of like audience members. And then you can even see him, like if you watch his stand up like in comedy clubs, it looked like the little camera shots, you know, that somebody recorded him. But you can see where he like laughs and he's like, and you can see he has the joke in his head and then he starts saying it and then everybody laughs. That's kind of how I picture Nick, where he can just riff off of whatever.
Yeah.
And Chris D'Elia literally just starts with one guy and then just the whole show starts.
And then suddenly he's banging every guy. It's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Or
Just
DM.
start with one, very
We'll start
dangerous.
with one underage girl and
and then just go through them all. Yeah.
And then you're R. Kelly. Oh my God. Very, very bad. No, it's an interesting craft to me. I get it, but like the people who are good at it, it's so neat to watch because they like plan these jokes and they work them out and they practice them. And you guys were talking about Norm earlier, and his World War I and II set about Germany is so fucking funny.
Oh man, I haven't heard
Like,
it.
that joke is so good.
It's classic stuff. I'm trying to remember the one that he starts out with where he's like, I've been reading a lot about this Hitler. Not so much. Don't really like him. You know?
I don't know. He was pretty determined. He had good follow through. How many of us accomplish our goals?
Mm-hmm.
Well, and that guy was like a 5'9"
Oh
yeah, it was the three that did him in. The
No,
three
Hitler.
Oh God. I'm like, Norm, don't do that to him. God bless him. Yeah. Oh, Hitler for sure. 5'9"
Which is why, like, us as a community of women, if we encounter a 3, like that has to be your community service. And like it's not for you, it's for them. You know what I mean? Like you have to take that 3 and not cast them aside, because then they will go out and murder 6 million Jews. You know, you have to take that 3 and be like, look, we're gonna have a good time tonight or for this hour or whatever. Just make sure you're not sending them out angrier than they came to you. I think that is our good deed to society.
Adolf, here's some
5'9", 6 million.
That's great.
Oh boy.
That's fun. We're having fun.
Oh boy. Yeah.
No, but see, you mentioned the attractive people were at home having sex with the other attractive people. But have you noticed how many attractive people are with like just a busted partner?
Yes.
Like it's, and I'm not talking about like they do the Pierce Brosnan thing and people like try to rip on him for his, was it Pierce Brosnan who has the wife? Like she's just aged, right? But some people are with like like that's not just age. That's not like, oh, she had 2 kids or whatever. That's like, dear God,
age and mistakes. Yeah.
I don't. That's weird to me. I mean, I know I'm in that relationship where I'm the busted one, but like I see everybody else doing it, and I'm like, I thought I was alone here, but turns out it's very common. It's weird to watch.
Yeah, women are willing to cut a deal if you're rich or
Oh, I'm talking about dudes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, you mean so the guys with the busted chick.
Where like I'll see these dudes walking around and they're like 6'5", they're jacked, right? They're in good shape. I mean, they're a little older, like, you know, 45, 50 years old, but they're clearly in very good shape. And then they're walking around with a fucking whale. And I'm like, what like
where are you seeing this? I have never seen that.
try any. Oh, the last place I went to, the last vacation we took, like this is 90% of couples were just like these dudes who are big and in like really good shape, and well, they were all black. I mean, maybe that had something to do with it.
There's a theory in the chat that the busted women have the best tacos.
Oh,
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know. Look, there's a boutique grocery store, and then there's a fucking Costco, and like I'll take the boutique store every day. That's all I'm saying.
Artisanal, made in small batches.
Yeah.
But you know, there have been some men that I've seen where they're not really like with whales, but like they might like if they're like a, let's say like a 9 or a 10, you know, the tall, dark, handsome, like in shape guy, and then like the girlfriend's like she's tall, blonde, skinny, but she's kind of got like a busted face, you know. Those are one of those where you look at it and it's like, okay, clearly like he's probably like you could just kind of see like maybe he's a little bit more of the insecure one and she's probably
Maybe
super confident.
High school sweetheart. That's usually high school sweetheart syndrome when there's like all right, their bodies are okay, but like someone's got a busted face. That means they married right out of high school and they couldn't really
maybe. But there was one thing that Nick said last night, and I was gonna talk about it, but I talked about it this morning on my locals because we were talking about how you used to hate fat people.
Yes.
And you're still in recovery.
You don't anymore?
Well, it's like you know, it's like anything. It's a permanent thing that you're always working against. So I say I'm in recovery, but I could relapse at any moment.
Yeah.
And usually do, like when I'm behind one at like a restaurant or whatever.
Yeah.
Or
like at any moment he might be like, "There, you're fucking fat still." Like you just don't know. You don't know when it'll happen.
Go up the stairs. Before they become an escalator going down. Jesus, go up.
But one of the things you said though is you're like, okay, you know, yeah, like I used to hate fat people. You're like, but skinny bitches. You're like, skinny bitches be crazy. And I totally agreed because I was talking about it again, like I said this morning, where I was like, I was the skinniest. I was like 5'8", 115 pounds, like seeing stars, eating one cheeseburger a day, but I was the most insecure I'd ever been in my life. And that's where sometimes I
pictures
see
or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you look up Faran Lovables or whatever, they're all there. But it's one of those things where
Lovables.
Well, I'll show you a picture where I look emaciated. I'll pull it up.
That was me during that Cartwheels video. I was coming out of like a very Adderall-y toxic relationship. But
mine was just that we got weighed in every practice.
Amphetamines will do that.
Yeah. Amphetamines and backhands.
Meth is a hell of a drug, that's for sure. But yeah, like we got weighed in. We had like this. Our coach had this little pincher where she would pinch part of our bodies. And Nick, you would have loved her.
Oh my God! You know what my dad did to us growing up, or maybe it was just me. He'd always be like, "Pinch an inch. Make sure you can only pinch an inch," and then he would like show me where to pinch on my stomach to make sure it was only like a little bit.
Yeah, he was way nicer than I would have been.
Wow.
No, I'm just kidding. Pinch a centimeter or else no dinner.
I'll figure out. Oh, my dad would shame us at holidays, like for going up for a second plate, like especially during Thanksgiving, like which is
like
every holiday.
Everybody, or just I don't know what your family makeup.
Generally everybody, but like definitely a lot with me and my sister. Like don't like, oh really? You're getting dessert? I don't remember seeing you finish your vegetables. Like constant food and fat shaming.
See, that's actually awful. Like that's really fucking terrible for a dad. You need like a drunk boyfriend to do that. Like not a dad. That's rude. Dad, that's not dad's job.
But then we showed him because we both got fat.
Why are your pictures called Faran Lovables? Like what am I missing here?
Here, I'm trying to pull some of them up here for you. Because that's what the NBA dance team was called, the Chicago Lovables.
Lovable. That Lovables.
Yeah. I'm trying to see like the ones where, because when I started on the season, I wasn't thick. I was still skinny, but then by the end of the season, because I was dancing every single game, I was like emaciated. I'm trying to see if there's more here. Let me see.
Damn, some of these girls look pretty good.
I want to see them.
Let me see. Oh wait, here's one. Okay. Let me see if I can pull them all up here and like full screen it. But no, I mean, it was a good time, but yeah, it's just one of these things where, you know, it's, well, see, it's doing it small. I don't know why, but
That's what she
here,
said.
I know, right?
Wolf Splain said, Nick, you know the picture, the immigrant picture.
I can do it.
Okay. What about this?
All right, hang
Oh,
on.
hey.
Yeah, so here there was, but see, sorry, it comes up small, but this was
Oh
like
my
when we had the
God.
headshot days. But this,
Damn, girl.
So I started out,
Hello.
yeah, I started out a little bit like, this was like, okay, they told me I needed to lose like 10, 15 pounds, and I lost
this
25.
point?
Yeah, I
Oh,
lost
wow.
25. Here is where, and I'm trying to see like if I can.
Woo, look at that stomach.
Oh my God, it's Jeremy Piven.
Yeah, but I am emaciated, like emaciated, like.
I think you look very healthy.
Dude, I wish I had my picture with me and Jeremy Piven to share.
Yeah. I'm trying to see if maybe you can, but yeah, you can kind of see, you can still see
like
abs there,
considered
but
underweight at this point, or were you considered like okay?
oh, I was considered severely underweight.
No, she's 25 pounds heavy, she said.
This was the start of the season 2 there, where they said you have to lose, you lose, like I said, like 15 pounds, and I lost 25 because I was like, I'm not going to get cut for my weight, and I never did.
Wow.
Now, a lot of the veterans, they started getting cut for their weight because they started like going out to the clubs all the time and
served in a war.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yes.
The veterans on the team.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'd be like, that's fucking harsh.
Yeah. But I mean, you could see like I am literally emaciated.
Wow.
Yeah, zoom in a little more. Go kind of up and down.
But you can even see like
arms
the dark,
so thin. Yeah,
exactly. Like my arms look super skinny. Like there's dark circles under my eyes. Like this is like borderline anorexia. Now here's the thing: is I could have gotten this the healthy way, but again,
what fun is that?
but this was me dancing all the time, going to school full time, or not studying for the for law school because originally I was going to go to law school. So I was studying for the LSAT, finishing up school, going to and from practice. I literally would eat like a cheeseburger a day. And yeah,
that's it.
Mm-hmm. What is it?
Nice geography pick.
Yeah, exactly. So yeah, that was it. But
the chat thinks you look hotter now.
And that's what a lot of people say, because they say that I look healthier. Which again, like if you would have seen me, even some of the girls were like, "Do you eat?" Because pictures add about 10 pounds, folks. I looked a lot skinnier. Yeah, well, I never did.
I eat cocaine.
Here, I gotta run, but right before I go, pull up my screen. This is what I was talking about. See, look at this.
Majid.
Oh,
Manjeet.
This is every 90 Day Fiance.
Okay, so this is a feeder. This man has a mental illness.
No. Read the headline. Read the headline. This is what happens.
Oh, before his student visa expired.
He found his
wow,
true
what a
love.
coincidence.
This is every 90 Day Fiance. You're clearly not watching.
But see, this is Manjeet is happy about this. Look at this man's face.
He does look happy. He gets to stay here.
He has found the warmest, moistest place on the planet. He doesn't have to worry about anything ever again.
I think you should. Can you zoom in a little bit just so we can see the smile? I want to see the pearly whites. Yeah, there we go.
He looks really happy.
Exactly. Yeah.
Why wouldn't he be
so happy?
Look at this. He's holding a ham right now.
Oh my God. He doesn't have to worry about dehydrated food for, lean time. He'll just eat her.
He's like, I don't need Patriot Supply. Fuck that. I got this bitch.
Or he could you only need half as much food because she could just not eat for years at a time.
Also, if you're him, you could just have a lot of really active hobbies that she's going to want no part of. Like, go to the gym, bowling league, running club. And like pretty soon you spend your whole day, you don't see this person. Yeah.
Like go outside. You never have to see her again. Just like get off the couch. I mean, he's kind of trapped here. You can see that there's a significant amount of weight upon him and he's pinned down to the couch. But
this is like what it feels like when you're in an airplane and you're like the person next to you is fat and encroaching into your armrest space. But that's their whole life.
Yeah, I don't ever fly coach anymore because of that.
Oh,
I had a flight back from Hawaii and had that where the guy didn't look that big. We saw him at the airport, like past the guy who's kind of normal, but he sat big. He took up the whole fucking seat and then half of mine. I'm like, dude, like spill into the aisle or whatever. Jesus.
He was asserting dominance over you.
Guy was gross.
Truthfully, if there was a weight limit, they have a weight limit for suitcases. I mean, what if they had one for people? And I know that sounds really shitty, but it's like
they kind of do. They make you buy 2 tickets if you're big enough.
Exactly. Yeah.
Wow.
2 tickets to paradise, but one.
Putting the pear in paradise. You gotta buy 2 seats, bitch.
Well, hey guys, I gotta run. I gotta take my kids somewhere. But thank you so much for having me on.
Thanks so much for popping in, Nick.
Bye, Nick.
And guys, make sure to simp extra hard. Make sure to simp extra hard.
Simp forever.
We love it.
Catch you guys later.
Bye.
Peace.
Bye. I was gonna ask him to fat shame me.
Okay, so here's when you got to do it.
Okay.
You got to do it when he's on his show. You got to do it when it's kind of like a serious night. The night that I did it, and for those that don't remember.
Wait, is your microphone bedazzled?
Hell yeah, it is.
Oh my God. Did you do that yourself?
By the way, my microphone is starting its own OnlyFans, so get ready. Everyone last night was like, her microphone looks so big, put your hands around it. I'm like, oh, geez.
Wow. Children.
Yeah, exact. Grow up.
Grow up.
But it was a serious night. I think they were talking about, oh God, it was something to do where, they were bringing back the January 6th committee.
Oh boy.
And he was, exactly. Like, you already know where it's going. It's a serious night. And he stops and he looks in the camera and he's like, look, he's like, nobody can ever tell you, you're like, that, nobody can take away your freedom. And he's going like on this whole freedom rant and these people can't do this. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh, no. And it's a fat shame. He was so uncomfortable because I think I had met him probably like 3 or 4 times up to that point. And here's the problem is I was fat. And he knew, like, my whole goal was just to make him uncomfortable. But I also was kind of uncomfortable myself. But I was like, hey, uncomfortable is gonna make you drop this bitch. And
oh yeah.
Sure
So
enough,
do you like pictures of yourself? Like every once in a while, you're like, oh God,
I know, right? And I always love the pictures where you took it and you look and you're like, oh my God, I look so fat. And now I'm like, I would do anything to be that fat. Wait again.
Oh, right. Go back in the day. Yeah.
Exactly. But no, yeah. And so I'm down like 35 pounds, I want to say.
Wow.
Yeah.
How are you doing it?
Just not eating like shit and not drinking.
Okay.
Not
drinking.
Because there was a period in March, like when the whole Ukraine Russia stuff started, and I had a primetime show at RT America.
Oh wow.
Yeah, like
I was about that.
Yeah, like I'm big internationally. Like if I went to Europe, they'd be like, "Oh yeah, you," because everybody loves RT America over there. But yeah, just here, I'm like a Russian asset. Well, not anymore, but yeah, the big thing was the Russia-Ukraine war started. They pulled all of the funding. There was all these sanctions, so RT America shut down. And mind you, like we had some good people in our network. Like we had the late Larry King, we had Dennis Miller, we had Jesse Ventura, we had Rick Sanchez of CNN, we had oh gosh, who am I missing? The late Ed Schultz of MSNBC. Like we had Americans covering American news. It was just that they called us, Russian agents or foreign agents. But no, so there was a period where I was like, oh my God, what in the hell am I going to do? And when something's kind of your identity, whether it be a news anchor, a nurse, a comedian or whatever, and you end up unfortunately either lose that job or something happens, it's kind of like, what do you do? And what did I do? I just ate and drank. and I'm glad I did, because it's like one of those, I found myself, but it's one of those things like, everybody goes through a lull. And this kind of was like one of the biggest lulls that I'd ever gone through, just because I thought, oh God, that was my last newscast ever. Nobody's going to want me because they're going to think RT America, Russia.
Wow.
Thankfully, that's not the case, but I thought like, oh my God, you always think the worst. Everybody thinks the worst. And I was just like, yeah, that was my last newscast. That's it. I'm done. but then kind of got into the YouTube Johnny Depp trial through Good Logic, who brought me in. And then I met Nick and all the rest of them.
That's how you met Nick. Yes, because that was one of your, you reported from the courthouse in the Depp versus Heard trial.
Right, because I was living in DC, and then I moved back to Chicago in July, and now for the new news gig that I have, I'm moving back to DC in mid-October.
Oh wow, are you excited?
DC, it's fun, but just like Chicago, it's changing a little bit.
Okay.
It is a little bit tough as far as the dating world because everybody is so transient and everybody's so like, the first question on your dates are, well, so what do you do? Or,
right.
And it's, oh, I'm a staffer, I'm this. And they're like, oh, okay. Oh, did you know so-and-so? Do you know? And it's just, everything is about, can I get something? Can I not? You know what I mean?
Oh my God. It's basically like LA, but for politics.
Politics is show business for ugly people. Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But that doesn't apply to you because you've done both show business and politics.
But it's just so weird though, because again, and a lot of people don't know this, when you are a staffer working in Congress or the Senate, and you're working for these congressmen or senators, you're constantly, I could never have these jobs. When you're in the Senate, you're a little bit better off because you have 6 years. But like people that work for congressmen, I mean, you get into like let's say you get hired by such and such congressman. After being with them for a year, you got to like start looking for other jobs just in case they might not win the re-election, because it's every 2 years. So that's why everybody's always looking out for the next thing, just in case.
That makes sense.
Yeah, and so that's
why
they
were super official and like.
That too. Planning. Yeah. I mean, that's another thing too, is, you can start out as a staffer, then you want to try to work up to communications director, then chief of staff, stuff like that. And you meet a lot of these people and you don't really realize how much, the government wastes our money, and B, how these people literally will have these congressmen and senators, like treat them like peons. And then all of a sudden it's like, please, like, can I get your chief of staff? And it's just to say like that they're in this office, or it's such a different world, coming from the Midwest, especially. And there's even like groups of Midwest kids. Like there was a group of us where we were like, yeah, we know we're a little different. Like, just Midwest is best. I'll say it. But it's just, you see there's difference. And like, I know you said like you're from New York. I don't know if you've dealt with like the finance bros and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I worked at a hedge fund. Yeah.
Yeah.
For a couple years.
Yeah.
And then I worked on Wall Street in a title insurance company.
Wow.
Which is more boring than it sounds.
But yeah, like NYC or like New York, it's all about how much money you have.
Mm-hmm.
LA, it's all about how good looking you are and who you know. And DC
Where
is
do you
like
live?
A little bit of both. DC's a little bit of
wow.
both. How much money and power you have and who you know. But good looking, they forgot that part. Right. I swear I'm like a DC 10, and I'm like, ooh, like walking around,
Ooh,
but yeah, in New York,
nice.
I'm like a 3.
No. You're a 5'6'3".
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. F your couch. As a tall, I hate flying. Yeah, you got to go for that extra leg room.
Yeah.
But then it's better in literally every other part of your life. So it's a good trade.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Cornelius Butt Knuckle Farron. Prunes can play piano. Ever heard of California Raisins?
Can I just tell you that was my favorite commercial as a kid? Do you remember that one?
Yeah. What would they sing? My girl.
No. And I heard it through the grapevine.
Yes. Yeah, they were great. They made me want to eat raisins.
Oh yeah, I loved Raisinets, which was a weird candy to like as a kid.
Oh yeah, that was considered like something fancy to have in the house because we had like no candy growing up. Like, and then I'd go to friends' houses and they would have like a candy drawer, and I'd be like, I felt like a crackhead. I'd be like, oh my God, this is just here. You don't have to do anything for it.
This is what I'm missing.
Yeah.
I hear you.
Nicolas. Good day, lovelies. Watched Brokeback Mountain lately? No, I don't. I've actually never seen it.
It's been a long time since I've seen it, but we were talking about it last night. It's one of Nick's personal favorites, actually.
I'm not surprised. Black Panzer. Whales need love too, you bigots. Wow. But you would get more love if you got your ass in shape. Reformed Mr. Sin. So HPD is the new ASL. When did that happen? Guess I need to update my dating profile. And no, I'm not telling you my numbers.
We didn't ask Mr. Sin.
Height, penis, and dick. No, wait.
Height, pay, and
pay.
the D. Mm-hmm.
Yep. This is the world we're living in. Meh. Hitler dropped the ball at the end. Oh, come on. Don't be so hard on Hitler. He did what he could. Just me. Hey, it happened years ago. In Houston, wife caught husband in hotel parking lot with girlfriend. She ran over him with her car. Cop said he would made if she would have backed up and did it again. Guys, don't piss off your wife. Wait, what? Oh, a wife caught her husband in a parking lot with his girlfriend, and then she ran over him with his car.
No, she ran over him with her car. Cop said he would made it if she would have backed up and did it
Oh,
again.
so she died. Or what? Did he die?
Oh, I get it. Cop said
would not have made it.
Wouldn't have made it had she backed up and ran over him again.
Oh, wow.
There we go. Well,
yeah, but luckily she wasn't Hispanic, so his life was spared that day. Snyder hype. This should be the She-Hulk writing team. Oh, God. Sean, Chrissy, love all your great guests. Farron is lovely, and I like Rekieta's cute haircut. Love you, Chrissy. Love you, Sean. Jim Satala. Fair and balanced. Have tongue, will travel. Ew.
Okay.
He's available.
Dark turn.
He hits on all my cute lady guests. Caboose. Farron, the only nice thing about living in Zion, Illinois is Portillo's and Culver's.
Portillo's, yes. Mm-hmm. And he's absolutely right. If you ever want a Chicago hot dog, Portillo's hot dogs. It's the restaurant. Mm-hmm.
I'm so hungry. Oops, I already did that. John Yarberg. You're welcome, Nick. Good job, Chrissy Farron. I'm a 5.6 for 8.5. Let your sister know. Wait a second.
Oh, my sister's 5'9".
Oh.
Mm-hmm. I'm 5'8". Okay. She's 5'9". Yeah. We're tall.
You're 5'8"? You don't seem tall.
Yeah. I think TV people, they assume that I'm short, but I'm like a giant compared to all the other TV anchors. I looked like a giant. All the other girls in TV are like 5'3", 5'4", maybe. Cool. I was very tall.
Oh, I wish I was tall. Walter Mellon, barrel to your head, warm Fanta or Troonshine. What is Troonshine?
I think it's just the fluids.
Oh.
Oh God.
I mean, sugar is bad for you.
Probably warm Fanta, I guess, because that's at least there's a flavor to it.
Yeah.
Oh God.
Video. The cartwheel clip is pretty cool, but it's this week's wet spot. Aw. I pulled my very unsexy underwear up like really high out of my pants because I was like, look. It's like it was like in my mind it was cute because they're cute like briefs, like booty cutters, like boy short types, and I'm like, these are cute, but like the more I kept pulling them out, I was losing everybody. I'm like, no, look, they're cute. And the more I pulled, the worse it got. It looked like I was wearing a diaper.
God, a crinkle bottom.
Everyone's like, wow, you've killed all of our boners forever. Thanks, Chrissy. Oh, great.
Oh, boy.
Now there's folks in the chat that find Chrissy in granny underwear hot. Oh,
you should.
Right. Hey, you gotta have at least. I'm usually always wearing a thong. Cut me some freaking slack, yo. Silver coins. We did the cartwheel thing.
Wait, hang on. Okay, wait. Troonshine is the HRT juice.
What?
And so they're saying retract. I know what the warm Fanta drink is.
Oh, it's what you drink to transition? It's transition juice?
Yeah. So if it's transitioning to a woman, then yeah, for sure. I'll drink more female hormones. But if it's to male.
No, probably it would be to male.
Yeah. I don't know.
No. Warm Fanta it is. Reform Mr. Sin. I think it's hard to find a female comedian who doesn't make being a woman or sex jokes as their whole routine. Well, here's the thing. You have to cut female comics some slack for. They say you got to talk about what you know. And because women are more observant of relationships and interpersonal shenanigans than guys are, we it's in our biology to overanalyze, to be overly sensitive. So yeah, we're going to have a lot more observations about relationships, and that includes sex, whereas guys, like, they're just not as there. I mean, these are just sweeping generalizations, but it is like it's easier for women to joke about that stuff because like we're more perceptive of it.
Oh God, yeah. And like they've even talked about there's even been documentaries done where if it was a room full of females, how female comics would get standing ovations because we would obviously understand the joke hella more than a man would. And that they said that there is a disconnect sometimes when you're talking about relationships, you almost have to simplify it. Not that saying that like men are stupid, but it's like you have to do it so that both parties can understand
You just
versus
have
if
to
it
talk
was
in small words and slower.
right. But if it
So
was
that
a room
they,
full of
yeah.
women, you wouldn't have to change a damn thing. We could just go off and they'd be like, "Oh my God, yes, queen. Yes, I get it." You know what I mean? They would totally get it.
Yeah.
I mean,
It'd be like,
but I'm sure the same probably goes for men. If
right.
you had a room full of men, their comedy is going to be 10 times different too. That we'd be
Yeah.
like, ugh, you know.
The guys are big bitches be crazy and be shopping, and women are like, eh. And women are like, ah. Men are like, yeah, you're right. They are.
You're like, wow, I never heard that before. All I do is shop. Wow. You know,
Yeah,
like we're
I
still like,
wish.
yeah, you know.
Trevor, challenge accepted. Roast me or order my Uber Eats to clean the grout spotless. Trevor, you look all right. I think you're doing okay. You don't need a roasting.
You're doing okay. Probably could
Dude,
update the profile picture though.
I'm almost always in a thong. Gonna need proof of that. Nope.
Mm-mm.
Not with a picture of Joe Biden.
Come on, man.
Yeah. Come on, man. You know the thing. If Yoda were to give Hitler a piece of advice, he would say, do or do not. There is no try. In other words, all of those Holocaust deniers are correct. Wow. Russell, I think I'm done reading your super chat. 656, but already taken. Oh, darn it. Too bad. Santa Claus is off the market.
I was gonna say, there goes the podcast. See you next Christmas, folks.
I hope you've been a good girl this year.
Oh yeah.
He did look like Santa. Gosh, you know what's pretty crazy? Oh God, thank you, Anthony. Chris, you look good in sweats and free t-shirts. Thank you. This is all I wear now. This is like 80% of my or something to go work out in. So this has been crazy. Do you want to get into this Maroon 5 shenanigans? This Adam Levine?
Whatever you want, dear.
And I was like, ooh, at first I was like, well, why should I care? It's Maroon 5. Like, I haven't listened to Maroon 5 in so long. But this is kind of a pretty juicy, gossipy scandal type thing.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. Where do I begin? So basically Adam Levine, there's been a couple women now that have come out and said that they have cheated on, and I think his wife is due with their third baby.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And
now
so
I know kind of the whole beginnings of it and how it started. But there's more women coming out now?
Yeah, there's a couple. I'm gonna add your thing. Yes, because I think this might have been the first woman, because this woman, was she a sex worker or a model? I didn't catch what her job was.
She says she's an Instagram model.
Okay, so she's a sex worker.
Yeah.
She's an escort.
Okay, that's what my sister said. Because my sister, yes.
You're not gonna make your whole money off of we actually have a website where we check to see, a lot of my friends do porn, and like there's a website we check to see like when they're in New York because they're doing escorting. And then I go, okay, I know you're in town, bitch. You're on the website. Come do my show. That's how I book people.
Oh, damn.
So maybe I could check to see if this girl's on it.
Well, she's out in LA. But so she goes by Sumner Strom. It's like Summer, but SUMNER. So here is the first one that she sent out, like the very, very first one. Then we'll get into the second one. Again, just bear with us, folks.
I'm just gonna rip it off because I've retaken this like 10 times now. Essentially, I was having an affair with a man who's married to a Victoria's Secret model. At the time, I was young, I was naive, and I mean, quite frankly, I feel exploited. I wasn't in the scene like I am now. So I was definitely very easily manipulated. Maroon 5 is practically elevator music at this point. So I'm sure you know
sick
who
burn.
Adam Levine is. But Adam and I were seeing each other for about a year. After I stopped talking to him over, a period of months, this is how he came back into my life. He said,
then at first I'm
"Okay,
looking at this, I'm
serious
like,
question.
oh, reminders,
I'm having another
Stella.
baby,
I'm like,
and if
that's
it's
him.
a boy, I really want to name it Sumner. You okay with that? Dead serious."
Saying that he wants his name as kid after her.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm in hell. Like, I have to be in hell at this point. I mean, my morals were unknowingly compromised. I was completely manipulated. I wanted to handle this privately. I never wanted to come forward because obviously I know the implications that come with doing what I do, making money the way I do, and being an Instagram model. So being tied to a story like this, it's like, I know the stereotypes.
It's only going to help me make money.
I'd sent some screenshots recklessly to a few friends I thought I trusted, and one of them had attempted to sell.
And one of those friends was a publicist.
So here I am.
And she took care of the rest.
So then she starts getting a shit ton of shit. And so then she comes out with a further explanation on another TikTok. Nope, not this, bitch.
And I'm missing this because this is all happening on TikTok.
I feel like it's obviously necessary. Hindsight is 2020. I initially wanted to go in and talk about how remorseful I feel and how embarrassed and disgusted I am with myself, but I didn't want people to look at it and think like, oh, she's playing the victim. But in reality, it had the opposite effect. Something I now realize I didn't touch on enough was the fact that one of my friends had attempted to sell it, which I realized yesterday whenever they reached out to me for comment. And so I was completely frantic. That is why that video is, for one, just so all over the place, and two, why I didn't touch on some of the things that I initially would have liked. So in this video, I would like to address some of those things. I only came forward because I wanted to kill whatever story the tabloid had. The most important part that I did definitely gloss over is the fact that I was under the impression that their marriage was over. I believe that they were.
Yeah,
this has happened so long ago. It seems like she's not like struggling with anything. Like when you really regret something, you're like, I don't know. It seems like you're wrestling with it, and she seems very like one note emotionally.
Oh, hold that thought, bitch. Hold that thought.
Keeping it quiet to avoid the negative press because, as I had said, I was new to LA. So I just assumed that with celebrities of that caliber, that's just how it was. And that's why I feel exploited, because he knew I believed everything that he said because of my vulnerable position of being new to LA. Also, he was DMing me straight from his verified Instagram account. I didn't have any reason to further question it. But I now realize that that was likely a manipulation tactic of his, just hiding in plain sight. As soon as I had realized that was not the case, I had cut things off with him. In retrospect, I wish I would have questioned things more. I wish it wasn't so naive.
What is your actual complaint? Like,
being naive is not an excuse
was she
for
not
what
able
I did in the
to?
role I played in this.
This happened when?
Again, in no way was I trying to gain sympathy, and I fully realize I'm not the victim in this. I'm not the one who's really getting hurt here. It's Beati and her children, and for that, I'm so sorry.
Says his wife's name. It's Beati that's getting hurt. Yeah. So there's that.
So she knew that he was married, like every step of the way.
Well, then these TikToks start circulating, her old TikToks, and people are like, oh, this bitch is petty. And you can see like where she tries to take swipes at his wife. And they say that these were made during the time when she was like, quote, having an affair. I don't know. So they're super quick, but
Not the mistress who claimed she was young and naive posting a TikTok a few weeks ago to a Maroon 5 song with the caption, "This is a little too specific." With the lyrics, yeah, you can start over, you can run free, you can find other fish in the sea, you can pretend it's meant to be, but you can't stay away from me. Girl, the only person young and naive is anyone who believes any lie you've been telling about the story, because girl, how was this a few weeks ago?
I think she moves herself around like
I know, right?
On that. I'm like, how do they do that? Wait, so what was she pointing to? Looked like the Venus de Milo, or like the gummy Venus de Milo.
She was pointing to the date.
Oh, I thought she was pointing to the statue. What was the date?
I don't think
Not the mistress who claimed she was young and naive, posting a TikTok a few weeks ago too.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh shoot. Yeah. So saying that she was young and naive, but a few weeks ago.
This was like earlier this month.
Yeah, saying that the whole situation was calculated and planned out. Then this was posted, they say, around the same time of their affair. Seems super remorseful.
You're probably with that one girl.
I think the fuck not, bitch.
Walk like an angel.
Oh, Victoria's Secret Angel is his wife.
Oh, wow. So much code.
I know, right? And then that's where you had his statement where he's like, a lot's being said. I was wrong. Then he goes into like this whole area here on his Instagram. It said, men shouldn't be making decisions about women's bodies. And so everybody's been calling him like a hypocrite and all this other crap. He writes this whole, during this regrettable period in my life, and he spells it wrong. She then goes on her Instagram and says, somebody get this man a dictionary. Now, real quick, like I said, this was all investigating done yesterday. Here's her Instagram, okay?
Wow. Okay.
Let's scroll. Let's just do a quick little scroll
Nick was
here.
He'd say, no, scroll a little slower. Let's take more time and look at these.
I want us to see the I guess the
how do these women just travel for a living? They're just always on the beach.
Well, so as we're
jealous,
going back in time, we're gonna see the what's the word? The formulation of Sumner Stroh or whatever her name is. So we have her where she starts out and she's like doing travel pictures, like pictures at the beach. Yeah, feet pics, girl, get your nails done.
Nail pics. I had a nail phase. Yep.
Yep. Here she is, with her, looks like little brothers or whatever. Doing some travel.
Her face looks different too.
I know, right? Isn't it crazy? But then you start seeing like, okay, like some bikini pics, like, okay, that seems to be getting a little bit more likes.
This is working. Yeah.
Yeah. So then you see as it keeps going, then you have the cool outfits. Let's try the fashion side, right?
Yeah.
Still not enough clicks. Yeah, let's go to then where everybody goes on Instagram and go to the different wall posts. Still not enough likes.
The pink wall in LA.
Yep. Let's keep going. Oh, how much do we have? Okay, 2,000. Okay, that's a little bit more than the other ones. Okay, let's see. 2,400, a little bit more. Okay, let's keep going. Let's see. Okay, we'll try to do the fashion bikini. Let's keep going. Let's try some new stuff. Oh, I'm in LA. 1,300, still not enough. 1,900, still not enough. All of a sudden,
she's beautiful. I mean, I feel like she should be getting more. I'm on her side.
Well, yeah. Well, here's the thing. Oh, 3,500. This is after the boob job. Okay.
That's what she needed.
Yep. Everybody needs a boob job. 2,500. Still some of these she should have gotten way more. But then we start seeing 5,000, 5,000, 5,000.
Maybe she's shadow banned. Is she a flat earther?
Well, no. Well, here, check it out. Here we start with more of the 10,000, 112,000. We're starting to move up in the world. But then you see.
You really are a reporter, Faran.
I know.
Like, this is a journalistic piece you're doing.
Exactly. I mean, you have to. What's the how she evolved, I guess you could say. And then 12.8, so still a little bit low. And then you start to see that there's a little bit of a drop after some of her swimsuit pics and stuff start going. So there's a drop after you have 112,000 and then you're dropping to like 18,000, 8,000, 14,000.
Still a lot of people.
Still a lot for like you and I, but when you've already had 112, you got to keep that going. So let's start doing more. And you see they start to get a little bit more. Okay, let's do some ass now. Maybe we'll do some ass here. Okay, all right. We just got the Taz, so we'll get 20K here. Here we go. Okay, beach shots only 16. Let's keep going. Okay, 17, a little bit more. Ooh, let's do the. Oh, not enough. Like I said, you could see as she keeps evolving more and more and more, and
She's
then all of a
raise
sudden,
the stakes.
you got to keep raising the stakes, right? Still, but it's like still 18. Still not getting enough here.
Still doing
Okay.
great, though.
16,000. Again, this would be a lot for us, but not enough for her. 12,000, 10,000. But let's go to maybe the last couple here. Where was it? Where were the last couple of ones here where they just like went off, and it was all started after this shit went down. 2814. Where is it? Oh, no, let's try lingerie.
So what she needed was a celebrity scandal to give her the edge.
Yep, kind of looks like it. And let's see where it all started.
Oh, she's holding a dog in one.
Here's where it all started. 27, 17. But again, still not that 112. But all of a sudden now, everybody knows her. Her follower count shot up to almost 500,000. And boom, that's how you do it, folks.
I'm interested in. Can you click on Mr.?
Where Mr.? Oh,
the dog.
I'm like the fucking bikini shots, the touch-ups. You're like, let me look at the dog.
Hello. Hello.
Let's see if there's any music.
Oh my God.
Are you perfect?
Yes, he is.
Oh. Yeah.
Oh my God.
So there you have it.
Such a cute dog.
Still didn't get enough likes and all that other stuff. Even puppy pics.
Oh,
Puppies, tits, and ass still didn't get enough. You need to go for Adam Levine.
Damn. So what do you think happened? She like, did she go after him, or do you think that like he DM'd her and she just took full advantage?
Well, okay. So what's well now, because my sister and I had a theory last night that because he just said they were just flirting, that he never crossed the line like that. So my sister and I were like, ooh, he probably might have ended it, and she got pissed, right?
That's, I think, kind of what happened in Dave Portnoy's situation.
Right. So let's get some clout off of it. But if more women are coming forward, like, what are you seeing?
I am seeing, oh my God, we have so many. We got a couple of supers come in. Hold on. Nick would have to have got that joke. You guys are funny too. 5.6 short joke, 4 broke joke, 8.5 tell your sister joke on Faran. Lol, glad Chrissie is someone worth super chatting. Oh, thanks, John. From Nicholas, ho. What's my ho? Who's my ho? Not either one of us.
Ho, who's my ho? That's Santa.
Okay. Hoy. From John. What is hoy? Jerk off juggernaut. This woman lives life on easy mode and doesn't know real struggle. Wow, you don't know that. She might struggle with depression. She might have family members dying of cancer. That's not necessarily. I mean, it looks like, I know it's easy for a guy to look at a hot girl and be like, your life is so easy. But she probably has crippling insecurities.
Let me just get one more thing before we move on to the final part of our story here. So you see here, we have a little bit of a link here.
Yes.
So
looks like her management.
Okay. So here we go. Oh, shoot. Sorry. I have to.
Oh my God. Do they also represent Adam Levine? That would be great.
No, but she does have some exclusive content here.
Look, she loves to play pool. She's a sporty gal.
Yeah. She knows how to handle her balls.
Yeah.
Let's click on exclusive content.
She's an
there we go. There you
look at that.
go.
My first ever lingerie bit. I've never done anything like this before until now.
Exactly. Oh, and she's online.
She's on. Let's talk to her.
Oh,
how much do we need? Let's buy something. I've never bought anything from OnlyFans.
Never say never, LOL. Never say never, lol. The only place you can access my exclusive content. Let's get to know each other. Well, isn't that interesting?
Sumner.
Subscribe for free.
For free.
Oh, God.
That's a woman who knows her value.
My first ever lingerie bid. I've never done anything like this before, but here today I will be locked.
Oh.
Be on the lookout in your DM. This is rated R.
And then an exhausted face.
Yeah.
That'll be you after she takes all your money.
I know, right? So I decided to start a VIP. If you tip me $100, you will be automatically added to my VIP list, where you'll have access to exclusive VIP posts and pay-per-view, unlimited free chat, custom content requests, future posts before anyone else, exclusive lives, and ratings. This was July 1st. I would love to see the numbers.
Yeah. This is fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so what I saw was this is part of the more women coming out portion of the show. So this was, oops,
Here
okay.
we have Adam Levine lying about seeing Sumner. He said, I use poor judgment in speaking with anyone other than my wife in any kind of flirtatious manner.
I don't know who this lady
He's
is. She,
insinuating that he will
this
see
might be an
her, but
independent
it's never gone
researcher
past the DM.
like us.
Good thing we have DMs where he says that they did in fact meet up. Here are some DMs with Sumner where he says how fucking hot she is, like it blows his mind. And she goes, seeing you in person, I was like, I'm fucked. And he goes, you are 50 times hotter in person. And so am I.
Oh my God, the ego. And so am
Yeah.
I.
That
I'm
is
hotter
beautiful.
too.
Like we know you're lying. It's right here. Here we have Adam Levine.
Okay, and then the next one.
I'll post some of the more riskier DMs.
What happened to her shirt?
Oh.
Okay.
Obsessed with you.
Oh.
Aren't you like married? LOL. Yes, but it's a bit complicated. Oh, I'm sorry. These women can't wreck his home because his home is already wrecked.
Oh, snap.
He'll do anything for it.
Okay, so this was watching your ass jiggle on that table will permanently scar me, but otherwise I'm amazing. Fuck.
How many
for it.
homes do you think this TikTok bitch is wrecked? Where she's like, his home was already wrecked. It's like,
Yeah.
girl, sounds like you a bit defensive.
This girl right here or
Yeah.
the Sumner one?
Her.
Uh-huh.
Where she says his home was already wrecked. She didn't
That
wreck
was her
no
trying to
home.
be, yeah, she was trying to like bring the heat.
Obsessed with you. Dude, aren't you like married?
Here.
LOL. Yes, but it's a bit complicated.
She is boring. Her delivery is boring.
Yeah. But here she says the next line here.
Oh, I'm sorry. These women can't wreck his home because his home is already wrecked.
Oh, sick burn.
Damn, girl. Damn, Gina. You got her. You got her. His home was
This
already
is-
wrecked.
He'll do anything for it.
I'll do anything for it.
Apparently, he just really likes talking about it.
Oh, and this is him going, my wife is having another baby. Talking about how hard it is to be an Aquarius.
You really have to give it to him. I am so hot. It's so hard to be an Aquarius. Like, sir, what? You're an adult.
You're a man.
You're an adult.
Oh, so
Oh,
he
God.
sent her that.
Some of the more riskier DMs. I'm now obsessed.
All right, I did that already. Okay, and this is another
has come
woman.
Forward, exposing Adam Levine.
Who is this person? She tries to move out of the way. All right, this is not as good as I thought. Oh, he sends her a message.
Oh no, it's good, but it's just this girl kind of.
I'm stupid.
That's it?
Yeah, sending a message. You should distract yourself by fucking me. Yes, Adam, you are stupid.
I mean, don't all
Another
guys do
woman
this
has
kind of
come
shit?
forward, exposing Adam Levine.
I love how these people.
They have to duck. Like,
how did the other girl get to move herself around and this one's ducking out of the way?
Yeah, she has to learn that ghost move.
Yeah, girl, you got to get with that other girl.
Yeah. All right. Maybe this isn't as thorough and helpful as I thought.
Oh no, but I loved it though. I loved
Okay.
every minute of it. His home
So-
was already wrecked.
So I think it's dumb. Adam Levine is dumb in this situation because it's like, okay, you're married, and it's like, all right, who knows? Maybe he has a deal worked out with his wife where it's loosey goosey, but it seems maybe not. That's not the case. And it's like when you're a famous dude, like
Mhm.
you have a fucking target on your back, and like every girl who wants to like not really work very hard for money is going to be like, oh yeah, that's my ticket. Like you make yourself so vulnerable to be Me Too'd just
Oh yeah.
by talking to anybody online. Like it can be spun. Like guys are stupid in that way. Like they can be emotionally manipulated pretty easy.
Oh yeah.
But damn.
But there is like a whole. I mean, it truly does obviously depend on the guy. Like, I have a friend of mine. He's a former Navy SEAL, but he's in the terminal list. And he does not date girls from LA. Does not do Instagram models. He's not even on social media because he's like,
Wow.
all of it is just so disgusting. It is so like. superficial, very, very much like DC, but in the opposite way where they're good looking. And he's just like, he's like, you can literally see it a mile away. You can sense it a mile away. And he's like, it's just for many people. And he said, like, the craziest part is these girls will just completely throw themselves at these guys. I mean, I even remember, to give you guys an idea. Okay. Again, back in 2010, 2011, dancing for the Chicago Bulls, we used to park in the same lot as the players.
Ooh.
And
what players were you friends with?
I did a lot of appearances with Joakim Noah. I did a lot with Kirk Heinrich, Brad Miller, who was a Purdue guy. He was awesome. Luol Deng. Derrick Rose didn't do a lot because he was always injured. But I would say the funnest to do the appearances with were Joakim Noah, because he would always say hi to every single kid, and Luol Deng too. And mind you, we had to sign contracts. We could not fraternize with the players. We could not date the players. And I know Andrew Legal Mindset is like, oh, Faran, that's so cap. Like the girls were doing it all the time. Okay, Andrew, in Chicago, different story. Because my coach actually was the one that started NBA and NFL cheerleading teams. Her name is Kathy Gore. She's a legend. And the reason that was
200 years old.
I think she's like in her 70s. Okay. But what happened is, like I said, like little backstory really quick. You had the Honey Bears, which was the cheerleaders for the Chicago Bears. They won the Super Bowl. Many of them dated the Honey Bears. Then the first thing that happened after the Super Bowl, I forget what the guy's name is, like Mataski, or it's whoever owns the Bears. I'm not a Bears fan. The daughter came in, and the first thing she did, she's like, get rid of the cheerleaders. Like they're the sluts, got rid of them. So then my coach, she went and started a team with the Bulls, and she was like, we're never going to have that happen again. Absolutely no fraternizing or dating with players. And I mean, you are supposed to report people if you're found out. I mean, you're instantly kicked off the team. Like it is a huge no-no. And this is just for the Chicago Bulls. They don't care if you date other players, but just the Chicago Bulls, you cannot. But no, so we used to park right next to them. I always used to park in between it was Luol Deng, me, my other friend Aaron, Kirk Heinrich. Like we just started always, because it was the time you would come in and we all had assigned spots. I used to walk out after the games and there would be underwear underneath these guys' windshields with the numbers written in the underwear, thongs, you name it. I mean, and you're like, how did these women get into a guarded parking lot, know what car he drove, put their number in? There are women that you can see. When I worked at Trump as a bartender, there was one night we had the whole 16th floor, which is like the outside bar. The New York Yankees bought it out. So we were waiting on all the Yankees. And there were two girls that made it in. And they were like, oh, we just came back from the game. And you knew. I was like, how did they get in? My girlfriend Lisa, she's like, those are Jersey chasers. Just watch. And I was like, no, they're not. Oh, they knew exactly how to work their way into which players. They ended up leaving with them. I mean, you see it in action and you're like, oh my God, like I'll give it to him. Yeah, I'll give it to him. Yeah, they're smart. It's an art that I clearly would not be good at. But because I'd just be like, oh my God, why am I doing this? I have such a guilty conscience. But yeah, it's so weird.
It's a different set of skills. You need to be a female stalker versus a male stalker.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But female stalkers oftentimes turn into girlfriends. So
yeah, they definitely do. But yeah, it's just they blew the security guard. I mean,
real secure.
Yeah. But it's just, again, just from the way that I saw it, and that wasn't when Instagram wasn't even around. It wasn't even a thought. Facebook was kind of around. Now, the fact that these girls can slide into DMs really quick via Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, whatever. I mean, the world is these women's oysters, you know? So
the world could be your oyster too, Faran, if you just slid into more DMs.
Oh God, I'm too old.
No, you're not. Don't you dare. A couple more super chats. Julie, I was exploited. Translation, I used to be a whore and now I have regrets. Yeah. By that definition, we've all been exploited. Starshine, no Fanta. You have to watch Legal Mindset or on Chris Chan. Jerk off Juggernaut. Cortana has more emotion than this wannabe victim. Nerds will understand, and I don't mean the Patamount trash Cortana.
Yeah, it's just super weird, you know.
Yeah.
And again, like props to her, you know, for all these girls, you know, like my sister and I were talking about this last night. Like, we're not bashing her. Like we said, she's got a banging body, she's beautiful, you know, but you can see like where a lot of these Instagram models, they're starting to become like a dime a dozen. And how can you get any kind of notoriety these days? Well, for some people, it's a scandal. And maybe it's the younger generation, maybe doesn't understand like long-term consequences. I don't know.
Yeah. You're like, yeah, I'll ruin a family if it helps me. Let's do it.
Like and subscribe.
Yeah, like and subscribe. I'd never done this before. She has that odd 1,000-yard stare. Red flag. Aw.
Yeah.
It's hard being an Instagram model.
It is.
John Yarber. Evaluation, Faran.
Evaluation. For me?
Mark, I don't know. Mark Wilkins. That's not how Gary from Nerderotic got $500,000. True.
Very true.
Need to work very hard. John Yarber. Whole. Like whole, Chrissy. Thank you.
Thank
Annie
you.
for the beloved lupus patient. What? I don't know who that is, but thank you. Jerk off, Juggernaut. Frank just proved my point. F her family struggles. You know she's all about her own self-worth. Did Frank make a point that I missed?
Well, I think maybe in regards to his family. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I didn't get it.
Sorry, Wednesday is Saturday light and whiskey day. Aw, thank you, Santa Claus. My God, Farron, I have to have you back. I feel like we only barely scratched the surface on,
I know, right?
On our friendship, honestly.
Our
new friendship that I'm forcing on you. Tell the good people where they can follow you.
By the way, it's not force if I say yes to it. Basically anywhere fair and balanced. YouTube. I'm on TikTok, but I don't do shit on there. Instagram, Twitter, all that other good stuff. But basically YouTube is where you can find me. And then my sister and I have a show now. We go back and forth on each of our channels, but it's called Sister Sister, where her and I just sit and bitch about pop culture, which is kind of fun.
I love that.
Oh yeah, we'll definitely have to have you come on.
Yes. I used to be close with my sister, and then she married a degenerate gambler. So now we're not really friends anymore. From Ani, translation, John's cancer. Oh yes, the beloved chatter, of course. I love that. Yes, and I have to get you on Simcast, which is my Sunday night girl show.
And let me tell you, I recently got into that show via Nick, because I had never really heard of it. Because I mean, when you're kind of running around, and then you know, it's so weird. Like you have a lot of podcasts where they all start out great, you know. Like for example, and I know many of you might be like, "Oh my god," but I loved the H3 podcast when it first started, because all they did was talk pop culture, and they would just find funny videos on the internet and laugh their ass off. Then it was like they started to get into like the activism.
Was that
stuff.
Ethan Klein's podcast?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and now they, you know, then they started to get into the activism stuff, and then they were like I think he recently had Keffels on actually, but it's one of these things where it just started to be. It was like I didn't come here for politics. I came here for goofs and gaffs, you know.
Yeah,
that's it. And my sister and I are like, you know, it's hard to find podcasts like that. And that's where when Nick was like, you got to watch Simcast, you'd love it. And so my sister and I started watching, because you have shows like Call Her Daddy, which are just like too gross now.
I watched a couple, and I truly couldn't get through any more than a couple episodes, because like the vocal fry was really hurting my soul. I think it was hurting my DNA too, honestly. I think it was like going deep into my body and changing it for the worse. Just listening to that, I was like, because I was trying to figure out what makes this girl so valuable. Like, why is she, you know?
Well, yeah, and even when it was her and her Alex and Sophia, you know, like it just started to get like really raunchy, and it was like, okay, I understand like a girl's podcast, but like this is like a little too much. Whereas you guys, like, you guys will talk about stuff, but it's not like the way that Call Her Daddy is, where it's like, okay, God, I need to be in a private room and like take a shower after, you know?
Really?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. There was one episode strictly dedicated to how to have anal sex and like what to do and like and I get it that some girls want to know, but they like went into a whole lot more than you needed to, and it was like, okay, can you just like make this an ebook? Like, do you have to have this be a podcast? You know?
Oof.
So yeah.
Now I kind of want to listen to it. I'm like, I didn't know that they're like, you know what I mean? There's a whole podcast worth of information about that.
Well, this is when they were still together, the two of them.
I just figured it was like step 1, get drunk as fuck. Step 2, let it happen. Yeah. Bend over. Step 1 would be like, don't eat Mexican. Step 2, get drunk as fuck. Step 3 is bend over. Done. We didn't need a whole podcast.
Yep. Step 4, run.
Call out of work the next day. Yeah.
Exactly.
You will be limping.
Oh, God.
Darn autocorrect evaluation. Thanks, John. Thank you, Lo-Fi Hydroponics. Hole, Faran, hole. Okay, this guy loves calling you a hole. And Flagrant Triggers,
boy.
Faran, hardest story versus best story you've done. My God, Flagrant, I'm trying to wrap it up, motherfucker.
Hardest story I've ever done. I would say probably just 2020 alone. With the BLM riots, I was with Antifa, I was with the Oath Keepers, I saw all of that. I was at the riots in Philly. I was at January 6th covering it.
Yeah, me too.
yeah,
I feel
there
ready
was-
to see you.
Yeah, there was a lot of stuff going on in 2020 that just was a lot to take in. The best story I've ever done was, it was a little grandpa at a little retirement home. This was back in 2011 in South Bend, Indiana. Met his daughter, and she was like, Dad, you know, tell her your story and who's taking you, or who took you to his big premiere. And he's like, Steven Spielberg. And I was like, wait, why? And he's like, and the daughter eventually tells me that the character in Saving Private Ryan, the medic, was based on her father's story, because he landed at Omaha and was a medic. And in the movie, it doesn't end up the way that he did, obviously, because this guy is still living. But that Steven Spielberg brought him as like his special guest. Many of the other veterans that he based those Omaha Beach stories on. And it was just amazing to just talk to him and just sit with him. And yeah,
Wow.
sweetest little man. So,
Oh, that's touching.
yeah. So, yeah.
I enjoy a human interest piece.
I liked a lot of those stories too. I mean, I can do the serious, I can do the funny. The sad ones are tough, you know, like when there was a shooter at Purdue University, and I had to go knock on the dad's door and say, you know, is this your son? I mean, those are always, yeah, those are not fun. But the problem is you see with people in the news, is it's very hard for them to have empathy these days. And you can see it just by Instagram, where they're like, hey, like live at 5 for this like new fire where 5 people in the family died. It's like, you like want to not smile and take a freaking selfie. Like, just say you're live at 5 with the latest, you know?
Wow.
So yeah, it's very hard for people to have empathy these days. And yeah, so hopefully people start getting their acts together. Get your acts together.
Get it together. Faran, I'm obsessed with you. You're gonna come
I
back,
love you too.
whether you like it or not. Thank you
Absolutely.
to the chat for your questions and comments. And until next time, bye.
Bye.